We are live.
How's it going?
Hello, everyone. How's it going tonight? We have no Caesar tonight. Caesar is out with his family. It was his daughter's birthday, so he went to do that. But we've got Rob and Mr. Ron McCoy from RonRealTV Cigar Reviews. How's it going, guys?
I'm good. I'm getting a little feedback.
Are you? Oh, it seems like there's a delay. I can hear it myself in your.
I hear it too.
Let's see here. Wow, there's a big delay. Holy
Yeah, you're
cow.
still delaying.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's a big delay, man. Holy
That's
cow.
like 15 seconds.
Wow. I don't know where it's coming from though.
I
Everyone's
have no
wearing
clue. This is
headphones, right?
yeah, and this is the only thing I got up.
Yeah, I don't.
That's crazy.
Boy, that is bizarre.
Oh,
Hold
maybe
on.
that was me, man. I think
Is it on?
I think it's on me.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Yep, I think that was me. My apologies, gentlemen. I was like, man, I hear something. Then y'all were talking. I was like, am I the only one that hears this?
I didn't hear it at first. I thought it was just in my head.
That's why I was quiet when y'all were talking. I was like, maybe it's just me. So, all right, my apologies. It's rookie mistake. I'm still a rookie, so I can still make mistakes.
It's all good, man. It's all good. This show is not a serious show by any means, so it don't matter.
Hey man, I feel like of all the reviewers, you were more like me, kind of more just kind of do whatever you want to do when you want to do it.
Laid back.
Exactly. Well, it's just there came a point where I felt like trying to keep up with everything, trying to post in all the groups and trying to just follow everything. It was kind of making me nuts, and I was like, this is not worth this to me. It's not worth stress. It's not worth all this. And if I ain't having fun, then
yeah, it becomes a job. You know, when I first started the channel, I was doing a lot of that too. But I feel like sometimes it's necessary when you're first starting to kind of try to get your brand and your face out there. But now it's like when I post videos, I don't really ever post them much in Instagram anymore or Facebook or anything. I just kind of let it go. If you find it, cool. If not, whatever, you know, like, because I think I was saying that like months ago, like, I don't ever want this to feel like a job because it's still fun for me. So
that's what you want.
I got a full-time job that's giving me all I can handle. I don't want to come and get off work and then do something I enjoy doing and then it's turning into a job too. So
Exactly. See, luckily for me, I don't have to do nothing but show up.
hey, I know you got it made, man. Hey, I'm looking for anybody that wants to host RonRealTV. I'll be the co-host.
All right, we've got Latanya H, Adam Wolf, Lee Mack. I see Lee Mack in there. Andre Barrett, James Garcia, Mike Ortiz is in the house. Cigar Head TV. Now that's and we've got Ashhead TV as well. What's his name, by the way? I don't remember his real name.
Brother Carson.
Carson. Okay. Nice. I'm digging him, and you've given him some good pointers. His videos have really gotten polished lately.
He's one of the few people that listen to me. I've told quite a few people that, and other people are like, oh well. I'm like, all right. It's again, like, as I've said about everything I say, it's just an opinion. You know,
right.
I haven't been doing this the longest. I'm not the best, but I can tell you, like Lee Mack tells me all the time, if I can try to help you from making mistakes that I made, if you want to take it, cool. If not, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I agree though. I've told him even off camera, his videos have become a lot more polished. And I think he's gonna start seeing a lot more success than what he's doing now. So I'm glad to see that too.
Yeah, I like his stuff. I like how his background changes. He's always mixing it up, changing the boards and everything. And I like that.
And what's good about Ashhead too is you could just tell he really loves cigars and he's passionate about it.
Right.
So those are the people that I usually tend to gravitate towards. I can pick up on it pretty quickly in a couple of videos if they really enjoy cigars or they're just doing this for, notoriety or just try. You could tell who really enjoys cigars. So.
Yeah.
Real fast, Ron. Pick a number, 1 or 2.
Pick a number. Always number 1.
All right, Lost City it is.
Which one is it?
By the way, what was number 2?
T52.
Oh, okay, yeah, number 1 was good.
Oh, the Lost City. Wow, that's an expensive stick.
Hey.
He already told you he don't have to do a lot as is. He just has to come in, sit down, and smoke, man.
Exactly.
Nice.
I had to bust out the goodies.
Yeah, I'm smoking a. Whoa, it's coming apart here. I'm smoking a Andalusian Bull that Adam Stevens sent me. Shoot, I think it's been about a month or maybe 2 months ago now, and so far it reminds me of the one I smoked before, although it feels like it's a little stronger. The first one didn't feel that strong to me. A lot of people were saying it was a strong cigar. I didn't think it was that bad.
I know Ashhead is a huge fan of that cigar too. But tonight I'll be smoking the Illusione Ypres 10th anniversary. Been on a big Illusione kick lately, so.
Nice. Oh, we got Kevin, Cigar Prop, in the house.
Kevin, what's going on?
And Caesar says, sorry, guys, I couldn't make it. Let's see here. I'm out with the family celebrating my daughter's birthday. Ron, love you, brother. Hope I can be on a live show with you soon.
Love you too, Caesar. I saw that earlier, so I had a feeling you probably weren't going to be here for the show. But as I always say, man, family comes first, and you and Robert are always more than welcome to come over and chop it up with me on the channel or whatever you guys need.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, Ron, how long have you been smoking cigars now?
This May was 5 years.
Okay, I was going to say right around 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what was your introduction to cigars?
So I was always more of a heavy drinker than I was a smoker, just even since high school. But I was hanging out with some coworkers 5 years ago at a buddy of mine's house who lives down the street from me, and it was just a normal off day. We were all over there just kind of day drinking, and one of my good friends, Gary, had a cigar. And he had been smoking for 10 years plus, that's just something he did.
Right.
And he mentioned to me, like, hey, man, you can have a cigar if you want it. Everybody else was smoking one, so I said, all right, shit, I'll smoke one too. And it was a Macanudo Maduro. That was the first cigar I ever had.
Macanudo Maduro. Wow.
And the only one I've ever had. I have not had another Macanudo since. Not saying that's good or bad. It's just I started smoking other things, and I remembered the flavors from the Macanudo were not like stuff that I was grabbing. So
right.
Yeah.
The first cigar I smoked was a Swisher Sweet, but the first real cigar that I sort of got into was the Onyx Reserve, the Onyx, and I was getting them in. Well, that was the first box I bought, in fact. And when I first got them, I loved them. And I finished that box. I bought a few more after that. And then my palate changed and stuff. And I tried to smoke that cigar again just like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I was like, this is one of the worst cigars ever. It is horrible. And I tossed it. It's not a good stick, man.
I probably should do that. I probably should go back and try to grab another. Or there's actually a couple of Macanudos I want to try now, but go back and grab that one specifically and try that one and see how. I know my palate has changed a 180 compared to then, but still.
Right.
See, for me, I mean, mine was a Brasilia, so.
Oh, really?
You were spoiled.
Yeah, that was my first one. Well, I mean, I'm
right out of the gate, man.
Yeah, I'm new to very fresh. I mean, let's see. So yeah, it was right around whenever Caesar started the channel was whenever I started smoking cigars. I mean, I smoked cigars previously, but I would be lying if I told you I knew the name.
Really?
You just
But
kind of did
actual,
it on and off, or what?
yeah, because Caesar was talking about, hey, he's talking about getting the channel together, this and that. So
Right.
So
I was like, what the
how long
hell?
y'all had the channel?
It's what, been a year now?
Man,
I think it's been a little over a year for you
A
guys.
little over a year.
Yeah, y'all. I think y'all were around a little bit before me, but shit, man, in a year you've done a lot of damage, man. To just have started out.
Caesar says he's got a question for you. Watch Lee Mack and Ron all the time. I always hear Lee Mack call you nephew. Is he does? So they explained this once. Why don't you go ahead and explain that?
I think so. I think for the most part, so there's a lot of people that call Lee Mack Unc. As in more of a cultural sense, right? So, that's my uncle, and then he calls him nephew. But I feel like actually for me and him, it's actually a little bit more of on a different level. Like,
right.
I tell people all the time, I don't really talk to that many people every day. He's one of the people I do talk to in some form or fashion every day, whether it's on the phone or text message or something. We're always talking. So, he's not a blood relative of mine, but I feel like he is, And we've been cool since I've been smoking cigars, because I was one of the guys that always would comment on his videos. He'd respond back. But then when I started my channel, he reached out to me like he does most guys that start their channel. And then we just got really, really close, started giving me some pointers and stuff to look out for and trying to help steer me in the right direction. So we just, grown really close over the past year. So
That's cool. Yeah, the first time I met Lee was at Cigar Fest last year, and it was weird how I felt like I had known him and that we were just old friends getting back together or something. By the way, Lee Mack, I got I did get my T-shirt. My T-shirt came in separate from my sticker, but it's in the wash, getting washed right now. I wanted to wear it tonight, but it wasn't ready yet.
But yeah, I think I would agree with that too, and that's why I tell a lot of the guys that even came on or started their channels after me, especially with him. I was telling them, don't take their relationship for granted, because you don't really get them. You don't really get in life, I don't think, too many good people like that. And I've been really fortunate since I started my channel to have a couple of really good people around me to make sure. I'm just trying to make sure that they stay around, So
right.
I think a lot of times as a newer reviewer, you can just kind of take stuff for granted, like, but like really pay attention to this stuff, man. This guy's been around for 6-7 years. To me, he's the best in the business, man. So for him to take some time out of his day to talk to you and try to help you out, it's like, I'm not going to say any names, but you're not really going to get that from a lot of other channels that have over 20,000-30,000 subs. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Yep, that's true, man. That's absolutely true. Man, wow, this thing is holding an ash pretty good. I was talking about before we started the show, I was talking about the Mil Diaz. And so when did you smoke that?
I think if Kevin's still in the chat, I meant to tell him. So they did the review, and it's funny because I love Jess for this too. Like, so on the beginning of the video, he said, "Yeah, I think we're the first people to have this on YouTube." And she was like, "Don't say that, because you just never know by the time you edit it." And I was gonna comment, I was like, "Kevin, I actually had a live stream smoking this cigar like 2 or 3 weeks before he got his up." It's all good, man. Kevin knows it's all love.
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, when it's like as soon as the video popped on, I was watching it and just was like, "Don't say it," and I just like started laughing.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how it always is, man.
Yeah. But you know what? I understand where he's coming from too. I've done it on a couple videos. I'll say something, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute, let me cut that out," because by the time it gets out, it probably won't be the first one. But I think I got mine. What's it? August? What was it? Maybe late June or something. Maybe.
Holy cow!
Something
that's
around
awesome.
in there.
Yeah, I don't think I quite had the same experience Kevin did the first time I smoked it, but there was a definite powerful sensation to it. But man, that one I reviewed just the other day. I'm getting ready to drop the video on it. It was freaking awesome. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent cigar too. Now, when I was talking to John about that, he was asking me about each Vitola, and the 3 of the 4 were just okay for me. The Edmundo size was the one that I thought was really good.
Right.
And I mean, it's August now. Probably don't see too many more cigars coming out that are, well, we say that now, but as of right now, that Mil Diaz is in the top 10 for me this year, for sure. I thought it was a low side of medium to full. I didn't really feel like the strength kick I think that Kevin and Jess did, but it was low side of medium to full for me. It was really good from the whole point through. I remember nubbing the cigar, which I don't nub a lot of cigars out really. Believe it or
I would
not.
say the same thing. That was my impression of the second one I smoked. Right. I am excited about the. I don't know when we're going to get it, but I'm excited about the 4 kicks Capa Especial.
That one and the Los Angeles still
Lost Angel, yeah.
So that's what I was saying. I say that it's probably going to stay in the top 10, and then of course. Cigars that I love all the time. The La Carine Bellicoso Fino didn't come out because of the shortage of Connecticut broadleaf too. So, just a lot of stuff going on in this. I think in the past 2 or 3 months, it's been really crazy. A lot of good cigars have been back ordered, man. And I've been able to see it for sure more working on the logistical side now with the Black Line Luxuries, far more than just being a consumer or just being a viewer and not really being in tune with what's going on behind the curtains. You really have your own perception of what's going on. But now that I'm behind the curtains and kind of can see what's going on, like I'm like, man, that's crazy how many cigars like you can't find right now. Like Tennessee Waltz, I know one store probably it's in Mississippi. It's probably an hour drive from me. That's the only store, the only time I've seen a Tennessee Waltz in the last year. John hasn't seen any. Yeah, and I love that cigar. If they're still there, I probably will try to go on my next 4 days off, and I'll probably just grab the rest of the box. But,
wow. I've got one left in my humidor. I've been sitting on it. I've got a couple. I think I've got one 2016 La Coalición left.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 2017s in 2 different sizes, and I'm like, I want to smoke them, but at the same time, it's like once they're gone, man. And so I want to sit on them.
I can say I'm one of those guys that smoke it too, but I'm thinking about it now. I have probably about 3 or 4 2012 mule kicks still left, a couple of 2018s, a couple of 19s, and it's not the fact that I think that I'm trying to save them, but it's just kind of like I'm smoking other stuff, or other stuff sounds really good to me at the time, so I'm just kind of overlooking them.
Really, Kevin?
I had too many manufacturers get butthurt last year because they didn't make it. Kevin, who cares? I mean, I'm not saying you, but I'm like, if I were you, I wouldn't care. Like.
I would exactly. You ain't on the list.
Because at the same time, like let's be honest. Like we all put out top 5s and stuff like that, and the general community will take in consensus what our opinions are. But for the most part, think about how many people are still looking at Half Wheel, Cigar Dojo, Cigar Coupe, Cigar Aficionado. So it's like, what are you butthurt about? Like I'm a channel with 3,000, 4,000 subs. Like
right.
People
I agree.
Exactly.
There's I kind of like the last year I really got kind of excited. I wasn't sure I was going to do one. And then after Kevin did his and I did mine and some other people started releasing theirs, mm-hmm. in the circle that we sort of all belong to and follow and stuff. And I got excited seeing what everyone's different impressions were and stuff.
Of course, and that's what I was going to say too. A lot of us, like it's a lot. It's the same thing, kind of. If Vic, if you ask me, what are your top 10 cigars for a year, and I tell you, but it's a lot more of a different experience when you can like click on my channel and watch the video, and get the production value, or maybe some B-roll of me smoking some of these cigars or something. So, if I were you, Kevin, I'd say put it out, man. Or
I would too. 100%.
If they're whining about it, tell them to make better cigars, and then maybe they'll make the top 5.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started off this year. Like I have my list since I started January. I went through and I kind of moved the same cigars sort of what I had, and then as the year goes by, I'm just sitting there moving it around because if it's still my top cigar, it's still my top cigar. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, my top 3 are still there. They're kind of, now what's weird is they're kind of interchanging as the time goes. Sometimes the one might go to 2 or 3 and then it'll jump back and forth. But so far the top 3 have kind of stayed where they are.
Hey, you know your live stream that I jumped into the other like 2 days ago or something? You had Cowboy on there?
Yeah.
Is that Cowboyism?
That's him. That is him.
That's him. I was looking for his for some reason I didn't catch it. And I went online trying to find him. I couldn't find him, but now I know what his handle is. I can.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you can't find it, if you go back to that live stream in the description part of the video, I'll put it in the description for everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Vic. Always look at the description.
But you know, but Rob, people don't, man. People
really,
because people will ask questions on videos all the time, and I'm like, this is a common thing I know probably all of you have experienced too. So you can tell when somebody comments when they have not watched the whole video, and then they'll come back and comment. They'll comment, "Oh man, you just answered the question I was asking." Like, well, watch the video first, or look at the description. Or half the time, it might be something answered in the description thing, man. So, but it just shows to me as a whole so far, like as society, like reading is just like, if it ain't on the video or if it's not something I can hear, it's like I'm not gonna read it, you know, like. And I remember when I was younger, like everybody read books and stuff. So it's just like I've always filled up my description tab with stuff, whether people read it or not is one thing. But I'm like, you know, I put a lot of stuff in there. So,
you know, I was doing it for a while. I do this thing. Actually, I'm really surprised at how active I'm remaining right now because I've said it on a couple of my videos. I'm studying for certification right now. And everything takes a back seat. I'm full on study mode, and
as you should be.
And so I try to. I go on and watch videos, and I don't comment on the videos. I'll put stuff up while I'm working during the day, and I'm trying to multitask and everything, and I feel bad about it, but I got to get this cert out of the way, and then I can get a little bit more busy and everything. But
well, I for one am happy you like. I watched the one video where you say you were pretty much cutting down on all the social media, but you still were going to stay on here, and I was actually happy to hear that because I was like, damn man, when you were talking through that video, I was like, man, he's going to shut the channel down for a little bit. Which, like you were saying, I understand because I just had to study. You know, I studied for the past year for an inspector exam or a fire inspector exam that was a little bit over a month ago. So I understand you have other priorities and other stuff going on, but I was like, damn, it kind of sucks, man, because
I almost did, bro.
I know, man. That's why I can see it in your face. That's why I was gonna comment. I was gonna do the thing that I just said don't do. I was gonna comment before I watched the whole video. Then I watched it and you were like, I'm gonna keep my YouTube. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought about it. I was and
this isn't the first time either. I remember another time you were kind of in F it mode, like you were gonna let everything go too.
Yeah, because for me, there was a period of time when I was really trying to get High Desert Man off the ground and trying to really get it going, and there's a number of reasons why I couldn't keep that going, and I don't want to make excuses or anything. I finally got to a point where I was like, I've only got about 10 years left to work. And even if High Desert Man took off, it was going to be 5 or 6 years before it could provide me a living the way my job does. I make good money.
Right.
And I thought, shoot, man, I've got goals and I'm out of here when I hit 60.
Right.
So I thought I'll just keep the channel going a little bit and stuff and do some fun with it or whatever. But
well, I'm happy you are too, because like one of the things I always talk about that I feel like a lot of content creators lack is creativity. It's kind of crazy that content creator is in the name and so many people lack the creativity. But I always feel like you are very strong on creativity, and I like that about you, Big, because even if it's something that I remember when you did the first person camera video angle, I didn't care for it either, but I still appreciated what you did with it. Like you were able to try something different, or
exactly.
It didn't work out. I'll scrap it and do something else, rather than always just trying to stay in the mold and doing what we just have grown accustomed to. I feel like I've said this just recently. I feel like, over the past 10 years or so, cigar reviews have been a certain way. So I feel like if people feel like, oh, I'm gonna start me a channel, they look at all the successful channels and feel like I have to do it just like them. And I feel like right now in the past year or two, there's been such a new wave of people just showing you that it doesn't have to, you don't have to do it that way to be successful, man. So
Right.
I think that's important because somebody that may not like Ron Real or somebody that may not watch me may watch you. So they're still getting another aspect of creativity or something that's different. So that's why I think that people like you and Rob and Steve are doing y'all's kind of like, I kind of almost kind of call it like the in living color version of cigar reviews. Like they just sit there and laugh. It's very impromptu or improv like, but that's know that's what they do. So I was even telling Lee Mac when I first started watching reviews, it was a lot more, and it sounds bad, but to me it was a lot more professional. You know, like people were more so, you know, just kind of straight giving you information. Where I feel like maybe I'm a little bit of that too, but I still try to dabble and try to do some new stuff too. But I say it's a lot of really good channels coming out now that are doing some different stuff. So,
oh yeah, there's a lot, absolutely.
I've enjoyed watching Kevin change his channel around and just, you know, he's experimented with a lot of stuff, and it's been cool to watch that.
And I don't know about y'all, but I didn't know we had Macho Man doing cigar reviews.
I was about to say, man, do you see that new video he just did? Oh my God. Kevin, I loved it. It was amazing.
Funny.
Which one was it?
His newest one.
I haven't watched his newest one yet.
Oh, you're going to love it. I was watching it on the way home from work. And God, dude. It is amazing.
Mm-hmm. But see, I look at stuff like that like 4 or 5 years ago, you really wouldn't see much stuff like that, you know.
Right.
I think the viewers should be really appreciative of like what's going. Like I feel like we go in eras. So I feel like when this era's kind of started maybe 2 years ago, a year or so ago, and it might last until forever or however long. But this is one of those eras that we'll look back when people are doing cigar reviews in 10 or 15 years. They'll look back and I think this will be an era that'll be able to like pretty much hold its own with anyone.
Dude, I needed you about a month ago now when we had the fire here.
Man, I didn't get a chance to stay on the live stream that long, but I could see it in your voice. You were like, yeah. Like you could just tell, like, hey man, I gotta get out of here. I heard it. It was frustrating, man.
Mm-hmm. I used to serve on the fire department here. It's a volunteer fire department, and when the team that we had when I was on was a really cool team. We had a really cool chief, and he did a lot of stuff to try and keep us educated, try to work us, you know, run drills and stuff like that.
Right.
The new team, man, I mean, there was no staging. There was no preparation at all. They were fumbling over each other. When the chief finally showed up, I got to be careful. I don't want to talk too bad, but I was pissed.
Was it a lot of younger guys too?
The team is, but the guy who's our acting chief right now, he actually serves down in the valley for like 20 years. He's been on the fire department down there, but he's more about, look at me, I'm the big guy.
See, and that's why I was just about to mention it. I was like, I feel like even on the department I'm on now, like you are, and then you can even look at this for like the reviews and stuff now. I feel like there's still some stuff in there too where it's almost like you got to be doing something because you love to do it or you enjoy doing it. There's, you know what I mean? Like you can't want to be a firefighter just to have the turnout gear on and look cool. Because when the tones go off, it's like, all right, man, you got to work. Same thing with these cigar reviews. It's like, oh, you guys make it look easy. I want to do it too. But it's like, man, you got to think about the hours you got to put in, how much money you're not making, how many free cigars you're not getting, you know.
Right.
You got to do this for love. And I think a lot of people will realize that very soon on, like, wait a minute, this is nothing like I thought it was going to be. So I think that's where you kind of start separating the people that really want to be here from the people that are just kind of, you know, have ulterior motives and want to do it.
I always say if you know, when I left, I went to high school in Montana, left Montana and came down to Arizona, and I landed a job driving a truck, and I for a 19-year-old kid, I was making good money. I was making $150 a day, and it was there was stuff about the job that I just absolutely hated.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally quit the job. I took another job. I made a lot less money. My dad was like, how could you do that? And I was like, Dad, you can't do any job good that you're not enjoying, because you're always going to be complaining about it. You're going to hate this or that or whatever. And so, yeah, I feel the same way. You got to do something you love, regardless of what that job is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I was thinking or saying you got to just be transparent. So, looking at somebody like Cigar Coop, got to have respect for him too, because he said, "Man, I just started doing this because I wanted to get free samples and get stuff early." And he built up a following good enough to where he can do that. I started it for whatever reason I did. You started it for the reason you did, but you just have to make sure whatever reason you started it for, stay true to it. Or, remember why you started the channel. So
exactly.
I spelled that wrong. Cigar Head wanted to know what you were smoking. I
I'm
told him in the chat.
Oh yeah, I'm smoking this thing. So what's weird about this Illusion Epernay, it doesn't have any Ligero in it, which most people associate the Ligero with being at the top part of the plant and getting the most flavor or having the most flavor and the most strength, but it also helps with combustion too. A lot of people don't know about that. So the one problem that I will say about these Epernays from time to time is the burn on these things aren't the greatest, because the combustion will be off a little bit, but the flavors are still good. So something to keep in mind if you Fred, if you end up smoking this cigar.
Janice Lugo, thank you very much. Thank you for the compliment a few comments ago. That's awesome. I agree. The last time I smoked that cigar, it's a cigar. It's weird. Illusion is not a company that I think about very much.
Mm-hmm.
But I gravitate to that Epernay every once in a while, just because it's just a good smoke, man.
The cigar, and that's another thing. So and that's what I like about Dion too. So going back to doing it for the love, Dion's not in the camera as much as a lot of these brand owners and stuff. He goes to Nicaragua once or twice a month. You never hear about this stuff because the guy just loves tobacco, and you can tell he loves it from what he's putting out with his craft. It's just putting out great cigars, and he's just been doing it blindlessly for over 10 years, and like you said, I was the same way too. I had to kind of reintroduce myself to the brand, because I used to smoke a lot of it when I first started smoking, and then I just forgot about it. Yeah, because most of the B&Ms around here, they'll have 2 or 3 boxes, and they're kind of not eye level, where they teach you on marketing, keep things eye level that you want to sell. So I've become the smoker now. When I walk into B&Ms, I immediately look really high up or right on the bottom. That's what most of the good stuff for me is. I walked in, like I found an old box of Namakubi, old Room 101s that were like 7, 8 years old. They're way up in the top. There's so much dust covering the plastic. Wow. And the guy was like, "Man, I forgot they were up there." I was like, "I'll take 2 of them."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And they smoke, and they're smoking, and they're great. Like it's in the Rothschild family. It's a little shorter than the Rothschild, but great anytime cigar. Because I think I'm getting to the point now where I just don't have as much time as I did at one point. So it's kind of, unless it's late at night, I don't really have much time to sit down and smoke an hour and a half, 2 hours on one cigar.
Right.
So the Lanceros and Coronas and the Rothschild short Robustos are what I'm kind of gearing towards now.
Nice.
Rob, how you digging that stick, man? It looks like it's smoking kind of fast.
Oh, Lost City? Oh man, I love this one, man.
Oh yeah.
I've bought it plenty of times. I mean, for the times that I can afford it, but
Right.
But yeah, it's real nice.
I was saying on so I go to Vegas a couple times a year for work, and whenever I go there, I always make it a point to go to Casa Fuente in Caesar Forms, and they have a cigar just called the Casa Fuente. It's a Cameroon wrapped cigar that you can only get in the Casa Fuente stores. You can't get it anywhere else. And I love that cigar, man. And
what's the ticket on it?
What's that?
What's the price point on them?
So I always smoke the Churchill, and last time I smoked it, it was $27, something like that. But
I mean, for Vegas, that's not bad. And you sit in the lounge and smoke it for 2 hours and I know you don't drink, but you have your drink or a cocktail or something. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get a nice coffee there and hang out and watch people walk through the form shops.
Shoot, real fast. I know Caesar's gonna. I think he said for me to ask you, but anyways, I'm still gonna ask you, Ron. I know you being a firefighter and all.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way Caesar can get a calendar?
I got one for him.
There you go, Caesar. I mean,
Now he didn't say I had to be in it or not, but I got a calendar for you.
I'm sure he would love it anyway. He could just cut out your face and just stick it on one of them.
Caesar likes his fireman calendar.
Just tell him to put my face on the September month.
September.
Sounds good.
Oh man.
Sounds good. There you go, Caesar.
It wouldn't have been a complete show without a good joke.
You wouldn't want to see our crew on a calendar. That would be a.
No, I ain't gonna say that. No.
We're a bunch of hicks out here, man.
I've made a joke to Caesar about it. I thought it would be funny as hell, but yeah, no.
We'll talk.
Because I for some reason I had this funny ass idea. Me, Mr. Big Burly Bearded Guy, July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Guns, American flag, Speedo,
Right.
The whole deal.
Whatever you do, Rob, if you post it on any social media, do not tag me.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's gonna happen now, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not even have to take the picture. That's like whenever Vic was doing the giveaway, and there was numerous. He was what you were doing? Oh, the numbers. You were doing the numbers, and Caesar and I were thinking, we're like, man, if we get picked, and because you were saying, hey, if you get picked, you can come on camera, this and that.
Boy, that was a fail.
That's when I was like, what should we do to mess with Vic?
Oh, that would have been good, man.
That's when the picture went all over Facebook of me with my shirt tucked in, and
right.
I think
that's when that came in.
I don't remember it. I don't think I saw it.
No, don't worry. It's nowhere to be found. Don't worry.
Oh, you deleted everything?
No. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on there, but oh man.
I did a giveaway or shoot. This was quite a while back now, and I thought it'd be cool to, do the giveaway live, pick numbers and stuff, and do it live. And then whoever won, if they wanted to, I'd bring them on the stream for a few minutes, just chat or whatever. And it was a disaster. And it was my fault, but it was just a complete disaster.
Oh, I think I watched it that time too, Vic. Like it was sound issues or something was going.
Yeah.
Oh, it was insane.
That was the most epic live stream. I remember that. I think me and Eric, I was at Eric's apartment watching it. I remember that. That was because at first we were looking like, man, what the hell is going on? And then you were just kind of like, whatever, man.
Yeah. Oh man, good times.
Yeah, I remember we were sitting there just looking at it, we're like, God. So when we have a giveaway, let's not do it like that.
It's funny because Vic is the tech guy, right? Mm-hmm. That's what made it classic. He's like, because I think even like earlier in the stream, he's like, yeah, man, I do all this for a living, man. I do sound and everything. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And like 20 minutes later, it's like, and then I think even somebody commented like, yeah, so much for sound.
Kevin did. Kevin has let me have it because of my tech stuff. The problem I had was I had dropped out of the video for a second. When I came back, it set my mic as my speaker, and so no one was hearing me. And I was like, I got everything set right, man. I didn't realize it had set my mic as a speaker, and so. Next time I do something like that, I'll definitely put some more thought and more planning into it.
That was excellent.
I mean, I guess same thing. I mean, you don't know until you try, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing that happens, man. You know, like I said, we're not all perfect, man. So I think that's another aspect that the people that support you and stuff like too, just being, you know, if you stutter through some words or, you know, you mess up on some sound or something, it's like everything's not perfect all the time, man. So, you know.
Especially, I mean, if you want perfect, just don't watch us. Like, there's no.
Man.
I don't think Caesar edits anything other than the intro and the outro.
Yeah, that's it. He lets it
I
run,
mean,
man.
hey, I mean, what's
So
us
Ron,
is us, man.
how you're married, right?
I am.
And you've got one child or no,
One child, one on the way.
one on the way.
One on the
Awesome,
way.
man.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and how long have you been a firefighter?
A little bit over 7 years.
7 years, man.
7 years.
That's cool. So
Yeah.
so our old chief just worked. He's back serving with the department now, not as a chief. He's but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter if he's chief or not, because he'll take control at a scene if something's going on. Mostly what we have here is medical calls, because everyone here is old, man.
That's everything, Vic.
Really?
I mean, I'm in a department that makes over 180,000 calls a year, and 85% of the calls are medical.
Really?
Yes, that's just what it is. You got think about it. So you got all these people that aren't taking. You got a lot of people on dialysis, a lot of COPD people or COPD, a lot of congestive heart failure, diabetes. I mean, like, yeah, it's a lot of sick people, man. And fire education has worked how it should. We shouldn't still be having the same kind of fires we were 100 years ago. If we are, then whoever's
that's true.
in charge of fire science is doing a really bad job. So with fire education, fire science, and educating people more on this stuff, we're having fewer and fewer fires. So, you know, I think it's great. I've fought enough fires. If I don't fight another one, I'm good. That's why I'm hoping to get promoted to fire inspector. Like, I'm even tired of hearing tones and stuff now. Like, they go off so much, man.
Right.
It gets old, man.
Yeah, I did it here I think I did it for about 8 months or 9 months, and I would have stayed on so I was pretty good. I knew how to use all the equipment. I knew where stuff was. I knew how to react on scene and everything. It was all good. But my travel schedule in the year, I'll do typically I travel about 50 to 60% of the time of the year.
Right.
But it's spread out through the year. So I'll travel a lot for 2 or 3 months, and then I won't travel at all for 2 months or something. And I started traveling a lot, man, and I kept going on calls, and I started screwing up, and I was like, man, if I'm going to get in the way, I'm not going to be part of this, because I don't want to cause an issue or something. So I dropped out, but they our old chief, he's building a new deck for me on the front of my house, and he said, now that I'm back on, I'd really like to have you on, man. I said, well, I'd like to do it again, because it was a lot of fun, but but it's a lot of work, man. I went down to Phoenix and went to fire training down there, and oh my gosh,
Phoenix, Detroit, Chicago, Boston, FDNY, us, San Francisco, Houston. I mean, we're up there, man. Like I said, the station I'm at runs about a little bit over 3,000 calls a year, which is more than a lot of, some departments don't. We got a department around here that Bartlett makes probably about 7,000 or 8,000 calls for the whole department, and you think my one station makes a third?
Oh wow!
Shoot. I used to love, because I grew up around my dad was a firefighter, and he went through, I think it was, A&M?
Yeah, yep.
I think he went through A&M.
Yep. They still have a really good school there.
Yeah, that was my, I remember growing up, literally every day I was at the fire station. That was one of the most pretty coolest moments of my life.
Oh,
Wow.
it's cool, man. You just, you know, if you're the like busy state people, for me, so everything, my thought process changed a lot when I got married, and then it changed even more when I became a dad. But you know, going literally from 0 to 100 miles an hour consistently, man, it's just really hard on your body, man. And
Yeah.
you know, cardiovascular disease is really running rampant through the fire service now, and you see a lot of overweight firemen that eat bad, don't exercise, and then you know you got all that heavy stuff on. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's why I said I feel like in the 7 years I've done it now, I probably could go to most departments, and some guys that have 10 or 15 years, I probably have way more experience than them just because of how busy our department is. But that's why I was
Wow.
just, man, if I don't fight another one, I'm fine, man. Like, and then, you know, for me in the inner city, you know, I have to try to tell a lot of the younger guys, because I know that they want to get the experience and stuff, but you have to always remember when something's on fire, somebody's losing life or family possessions and stuff that they'll never get again, man. So it's like,
Exactly.
I hate making them, man.
Yeah. I remember my dad's last time being a firefighter, basically, it was when he fell through the roof of a building. I think it was 3-story.
Yeah.
Fell through it straight through the floor, and he was done. Like he was done with the hole.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, my video guy Eric, he's off hurt right now too. He got hurt at a fire a couple months back, but he's recovering good and in good spirits. So I'm really happy about that, because that first month after, man, he's like he loves the job a lot too. So I could tell it was really bothering him not being able to be at work, man. So he's in a lot better spirits now. So shout out to Eric. I don't know if he ever popped in or not too. He called. I talked to him earlier. He said he was going to watch. He's a huge fan of yours, Vic. So
Really?
yeah, he wanted me to tell you, hey, if he didn't stop in. So
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
He's always talking about you, Vic.
I appreciate that. That's you know, I wasn't really complaining. I was just kind of mentioning on one of my videos the other day that I don't think I've picked up a new subscriber in, gosh, I don't know how long, man. I hit a plateau, and I've gone, and I figured that would happen because I haven't been very busy. I haven't been doing giveaways, none of that stuff. But it's weird how you start to pull back, man. And
I'll just say this though, but keep battling, because like you just said, you already know one reason. So if I were to stop putting out videos, like Lee Mack mentioned, after about 2 weeks, YouTube is going to stop pushing your videos.
Mm-hmm.
And the algorithm,
that's just true, yeah.
So that's why I was telling a lot of the newer guys, if you're trying to get out there, consistency is one of the major things. But I just say keep battling anyway, because I feel like you got to think, even for me, after Cigar Madness stopped, my sub count dropped dramatically too. But I mean, I knew it was coming. You know, you can't stay on that hiatus for a long time. It's just not sustainable. Right. So I was really prepared for it. So it didn't bother me either way. I just knew in my head I was going to keep putting out good quality content that I like doing. And you got to think, for me, when that tournament hit, it was at the perfect time. COVID was just starting, so a lot of people were at home, not really doing anything. Now
that was good. That was good.
People are starting to get out more and working and starting. So it's just like it all goes in waves. But I would say just keep dropping your videos, man. Trust me, you'll get a surge to go back into.
Janice just said, I apologize, Janice, for not. I always try to mention my new subs and stuff at the end of my videos, but I had something really goofy happen to me. Yeah, well, okay, so I was late getting the show set up and everything because my highdesertman.com domain expired, and I knew it was coming, and I was trying to plan. I just want to keep the email going for now, and I run my own email server, so I was going to transition to my own email and stuff, and I got busy, I missed it and stuff, and it went offline. So when I transitioned to my new server, I have all my old emails, but they moved into a hidden directory once I moved to my new server. So, and I didn't even think about it. I got everything set up, fired up, and all my email was gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, man. So now I got to go through the process of getting it all back in my inbox and stuff. But But right now, High Desert Man has 4 emails or something like that in
man,
because I just got it up again yesterday, and then I created the stream and stuff, and I was like, StreamYard uses my High Desert Man account. I got to get this thing back up, man, so I can get the show going.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm glad I think I've told you that in the first 1 or 2 episodes y'all did. I think this is great too. It gives people a different outlet, and then like you got it's just great because I feel like all week long there's good quality cigar content. Not just on the weekends or not just on Monday or something. I feel like any given day you get good videos. So I like how everybody seems to work really well together with time slots and days and stuff like this. So it's cool.
You think about when Brian Glenn got going, and so the days of 100,000 subscribers on a cigar channel, those are gone. And well, I mean, unless you're like a manufacturer or something like that, or doing something more than just reviews. But what's interesting is, I think that over the last couple of years, like you were saying, the whole atmosphere of that has changed, and we've kind of formed a coalition. It's everyone works together well, and we all mention each other all the time and stuff like that. I mean, you never saw that before.
To be honest, like for me, honestly, like it just being a raw cigar or raw cigar page and not doing anything else, I think probably 15, 16, 17 is probably about the most you're gonna get. Because look at the view count. So like even looking at somebody like Obsession, who has 130 almost, but he's still only getting 5,000 to 10,000 views, and most of his videos are 5, 6, 7, unless it's something kind of trendy or the title's catchy. But even Cigar Vixen has 60-some thousand. She's getting 4. So it's like there's not that many people that's really just watching cigar content. So like you said, getting 50 or 60, 70,000 just off cigars, it's not gonna happen, man. Not unless you got some weird stuff going on, but
Right.
But
I agree.
For me, I never came into it trying to be the biggest channel or trying to be the best or whatever. Like I had a goal I had in mind, and it was just a theory that I had in process, and that's why I started the channel. So.
Kevin says, how many of those 100,000 followers are qualified followers?
Well, think about it. It's not even just that too. So you got to think about this too. I was thinking about this earlier today. All of us probably have a lot of dead accounts right now because the views would theoretically, if me and Kevin are close, 30 or around 4,000 subs, theoretically you should be having 3,000 or 4,000 views a video. So think about it. If our channel just disappeared today and we had to start over, I probably wouldn't be at close to 4,000. I'd probably be at 1 or 2 or something. Who knows? But so I think everybody has dead accounts in there somewhere. It just happens, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, you can look at ours, and you can see who's inactive and who's not.
Right.
Especially, and it's crazy. You get a lot of somewhat active, not so active around giveaways too. I mean, I've seen so many fake profiles. That I say fake, like people making multiple accounts. It's unreal.
That is why I did not. When I got approached a few times, and that's why I was like, I did a few giveaways, but that is why I did not want to base my channel where people knew that I was the guy that was just giving stuff away. Like I never wanted to do that because I wanted the people to come over to the channel because they liked me or they liked what I was doing, and then thus they would stay there with me. If you build your channel up on giveaways and gimmicks and stuff, and then when you stop doing it, those people are gone. So, and that's a good statement that he made too. A lot. If you look at analytics, sometimes most of the viewers won't even be people that are subscribed to you.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's interesting.
But
I tell you, Rob, you put on that Speedo, dude. You guys are gonna skyrocket. You'll pass up. You'll pass up Brian Glenn, man.
Hey, just wait. I can't give away too much stuff, but I'm just letting you know there is some good stuff coming up.
Good deal.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on 1 second.
He's gonna go check on his kid.
How's your cigar, Vic?
It's good. It's not blowing my socks off or anything.
That's the bull, right?
Andalusian bull, yeah. It's and it's smoking. I don't know. It doesn't seem as good.
It's a cigar for me.
it's not smoking as good as the first one I had.
Mm-hmm.
But
so maybe it was like Ron said. Maybe it changed their.
I think they did, because
blend.
it tastes different. For me, the first experience was very memorable. I was like, wow, you know.
All right, I'm back.
So that must be true what he said.
I think so.
Had a little daddy, dude.
Oh, come on, Lee Mac. It's not so scary.
Given time, guys, 5,000 people watching cigar reviews daily. I heard,
and that goes about what Cigar Vixen and Cigar Obsessions videos are doing.
Huh?
You know, which their channels are going to get pushed above everybody else's because they've been doing it or they've been doing it the longest. And you got to think Brian Glenn has over 2,000 videos, so his catalog is really big. So it's going to always be up there. So
right, yeah, that's true. So, what do you? I learned something. Well, I've been doing this for a couple months now, but I just mentioned it on one of my videos the other day. I've noticed that when I light a cigar, if the cigar starts to go out at some point when I'm smoking, it starts to go out and stuff. It is far better to purge the cigar. And I don't mean just purge it to get rid of any bad flavors or anything, but to purge it back to life. Because whether you blow on this end or you blow through, you're stoking that cherry, right?
Right.
And I've noticed that most of the time you can get a cigar to get going again.
Yep.
And you've purged out all that bad flavor and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the detriments to taking the lighter to it again is you're heating it up too much. You get it too hot. And
I mean, it's a dinosaur method, but honestly, like I'm indoors most of the time. That's why I use matches and soft flames, because the heat isn't as intense on the tobacco.
Yep, I agree.
I see videos all the time, people just torching, and they're like, man, I'm getting a little charry nut on this. Like, no shit. Of course, you've been holding this quad torch at the cigar for 40 seconds. Of course, it tastes charred. Like,
yeah.
See, I've tried matches as well, and I actually do enjoy it, but it's just I got to turn off the timer.
And it doesn't even have to be matches. You know, like I was saying, I use the Jeep lighters. They're little cheap, $2. You know, I understand you're outside and stuff like that. And then to me, it also goes back to a patience thing. So when I look at cigar smoking, it's a state of relaxation. It's a relaxing thing to do. So it's like, don't rush it. When you sit down and you smoke that Churchill or whatever, that Toro, you're dedicating subconsciously an hour and a half to 2 hours to enjoy that cigar. So why would you want to cheat yourself and just rush through to light the cigar? Take the extra 30 seconds or whatever it takes to make sure.
Yeah.
So I started using these Swan Vistas. They're just regular matches, but they're long matches. Whoops. And a box of these is about $2, $2.80. I think I got them on Amazon.
And how many of us have expensive lighters that are just sitting in drawers and stuff somewhere that don't work anymore, or don't work as good as they did when you first bought them?
What is it about expensive lighters that stop working after the first year? They just start fluttering.
That's why I just crazy. I got this one where's my camera? That Kevin sent to me. I don't even know the name of it. But
yeah, it's that cheap $5 one that he sells all the time. It's
literally the only one I use. I use that one, and then the crown head one, the all black crown head. I use that one.
That's a great one too. I use the Jeeps and matches, and then this is like I'm gonna probably splurge, or I'm gonna wait until that Zycar Meridian goes down in price. Is way too expensive for me to spend that on a lighter. But I use this Zycar EX windproof lighter. It's $50, but it works great all the time. It's like a hybrid between a torch and a soft flame.
Nice.
So this is my everyday carry, because it's like I get the best of both worlds. It's not as severe as like a triple torch or anything, but it still can get the cigar lit up without worrying about it going out constantly like a match wheel or something like that. So
yeah.
Lee Mac says, "Yo, the other 16 people who have not given thumbs up or down, what's up?"
Oh man, hey.
Hit the thumbs, guys. Let's.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even do it. I'll do a thumbs up too.
I don't mind thumbs down, man.
That's kind of how I'm like, just hit something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vic, for me, it's just preference though. Like, you know, I just find it funny though. I watch reviews sometimes and people will be like, man, I'm not really getting anything except like a burnt cherry note or something.
See, usually if I on the burnt note, I'll get that later on in the cigar.
Well, you know, all that tar is built up by that bacteria too, and then your saliva and stuff too.
I think, what was the last cigar that I did not enjoy that we just posted it too? Crap. Oh, the bones.
Oh, the bones. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I could tell you hate it. I could tell in your face you didn't enjoy it.
I was so excited for that cigar. So excited. And oh man, I was hanging in for the video, but it was horrible.
Yeah, you didn't.
It happens sometimes, man.
I mean, of course. I mean, like I said, I mean, I think every cigar deserves a second chance. I really do.
Yep.
That's like, I hated the Diablo Punch. I hated it with a passion.
I still haven't tried. I got to try that too.
Eventually, I want to go back and give it a little second chance, but. Man, there's so many cigars. Even the Henry Clay Warhawk.
Yeah, and and for Connecticut, I love that cigar. But I know
I love that cigar. That's a great stick, man.
That Connecticut Raleigh Binder, man.
Cuba gave me the oddest experience of my life, and that was a cigar that I literally drove maybe, I would say, a good 10 minutes. Right, that's enough to build up ash. I literally smoked the cigar, and I looked at my cigar. I'm like, this should be some ash, you know. I look at it. There's ash, but the wrapper is not lit. Like I lit I basically smoked the guts of the cigar.
That was the
exactly. The Cuba.
Huh.
I've never seen that in my life. I was like the wrapper was perfectly fine. And it was just, I was literally smoking the guts of the cigar.
Wow.
When I was done, I cut a slit in it, and you can see the ash just perfectly stacked.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
Wow. Well, I smoked the Diablo a little over a year ago in Seattle. And I really thought that I had a bad experience because Seattle in general was a bad experience. You can't smoke anywhere there except for like the middle of the street. And it was raining and everything. And I was like, okay, this cigar sucked, but I think it was more the experience. Then I smoked it again just like 2 or 3 months ago. And I was like, nope, this cigar sucks.
Still wasn't good for you. Yeah, I gotta try that one out.
It's
never had that one.
The Punch Diablo is a strong cigar just for the sake of being strong. There's flavors are bad.
It's 9 o'clock.
It just wants to be a strong cigar. That's it.
I definitely have tried out for the strength factor, if all else fails, just to see how strong it really is.
That Diablo wasn't for me. I mean, I guess me in general, I'm just not not a punch fan.
Now, I'll go ahead and give a spoiler alert. Like, I know you guys both like the cigar. The review isn't out yet, but you know, you still can watch it whenever it does. But I smoked that Crazy Monkey. It wasn't wowed by that either.
Really?
Do you have a review coming on that, or?
I do. I didn't think it was like a terrible cigar, but it was just. I would like to see it. I would like to see that blend in maybe a smaller ring gauge, even a 54, a 54 or 52. I think that 56 is just kind of
too big.
Yeah,
too big. It's to me, it was just a really interesting smoke because the flavors were. I just thought it had very different flavors and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
it gave me something in a cigar that I've never had, and that was my biggest thing. And
right,
how do y'all feel about undisclosed information on cigars?
I would like to know.
You don't care, or is it like you like, man, everybody should just put in or just say what they got in there, or?
I mean, I would like to know. Don't get me wrong, but I mean.
I'm just interested because you're saying, you know, you felt like you had a different experience. I would be interested to see if there's like any Costa Rican tobacco or Peruvian or, you know, something in there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely wish I knew what was in the Crazy Monkey 100%.
Yeah.
And like Caesar and I, we're like I swear there's something, like we were going back. Okay, maybe this isn't it. Maybe this isn't it because of the hints he was giving us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it was made in so and so factory, or it was like Cubans are rolled a certain way, just like it's stored in certain temperature, just like these cigars. So we're like, is there Cuban? Like we had no clue. We were going back and forth on what was in this cigar. Like I would love to know, but I kind of like the suspense, I guess, of not knowing.
I think that's a good point that Lee's making too. I think sometimes all the time, probably what they even telling us isn't true either. So you just never know.
You know, Hiroshi Robina doesn't believe in telling people anything but the wrapper. He will not disclose the filler stuff
Really?
or the binder. All he'll talk about is the wrapper. But I did get out of him that the Robina Fox cigar duo, that they came out with the Eagle and the Alejo. The Alejo's the bigger one. Hiroshi did mention that the Alejo has one leaf of Cuban in it.
Really?
Yeah, and they won't talk about it. They won't admit that. But he told me behind closed doors that it does. And Spence Spence is actually I think the owner of the company now, the La Familia Robina.
Right.
Which is weird to me. That whole thing, there's shenanigans going on with Cubans still. Those guys do not. They don't get there.
Somebody just asked a question about that too. Say if the embargo is retracted, you think Cubans are still king in the market today? Not in America. I don't think they would be.
No way.
The American palate is just. Not everybody, but for the most part, I think the American palate craves a lot more. And even though strength is in my rating, and people, you like strong cigars, I think people don't realize how much flavor comes with typically most of the time, a lot of stronger cigars will have a lot of flavor in there too. You know, you look at the Ligero leaf, which is at the top of the plant, which is getting the which is getting the most
sunlight,
yes, and so you'll get more flavor and more strength from that. But the American palate, we're just always constantly craving more complexity, more strength, more transitions, where I feel like Cubans have their place, but I feel like for the most part, you got to think about this. So look at us three on the camera right now. Most of us are, used to smoking Dominican, which is kind of more mild or more subtle. A lot of Nicaraguan tobacco. So you go from somebody that's smoking Padrones or Espinosas or Aganorsa or Wart or Luvione, and then you try to get them to smoke, Veragüe or Regueros or Monte No. 2. Or most of it, you'll be like, the flavor's good, but it's just so mild. It's just not what the palate's used to. So I feel like even if the embargo wasn't retracted, like I still think we would enjoy them. But I think that what Americans don't realize is if they put Cuban cigars over in America and tried to run the same price point, think about it. If you love Davidoff cigar, or let's not even use that. If you love Aganorsa cigars. So if you like the Supreme Leaf for the signature selection and it's sitting on the counter right next to a Monte Cristo No. 2 that's $18 or $17, I'm going to grab the Aganorsa tobacco before that. That comes into play, like with Lee Mac saying price point. I can grab 2 Supreme Leafs to that 1 Cuban and have two good experiences compared to 1 good one. So the price point alone, and people don't realize Cuba's only putting out about 150 to 175 million cigars a year. The American consumers alone easily consume over 200 million cigars a year. Cuba's this one small island. They wouldn't even be able to keep up with the demand of the American population alone. So it's almost like they're lucky that they're not legal here, because you think the quality control is bad now. If they lifted that embargo and they just had Cubans here in America for us to buy the quality, and then you'd be pissed off because you bought this $100 Bahique and it doesn't draw or it doesn't burn good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other problem you have to think about.
Shoot, I'll be honest with you. I've had 1 Cuban, and that's it. And that was a Romeo Julieta.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lined it up, I probably wouldn't. Like, it was good.
Right. They
But
like I said, they have
would I
their
smoke
place.
it again? Probably if it was given to me.
And most of them need
I
2 or
just
3 years of age minimum to get in their sweet
Yeah.
spot, and most Americans don't want to wait.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Once they come over,
if you lined it up with say for Liga or Brasilia,
yeah,
or I'm choosing those cigars over the Cuban.
of course, because I could buy a box of Liga number 9, or I could buy a box of my father's and smoke those now. And
Yep.
but if I buy a box of H. Upmann Magnum 46s, I got to sit on them for 2 years for them to get smokable. Like so that's one of those things. Like it's one of those thin lines. Like I like Cubans. I like the flavors of them, but I'm also able to enjoy them because I have so many other cigars. I'm not like pressured to feel like I have to smoke them all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question about the Vihique. I have a romance in my head built up about the Vihique 54. It's on my bucket list. I want to smoke that cigar so bad, but I'm worried that all the stuff I've done in my head building that cigar up, it's not going to live up to it. Is it a good cigar? Or
I've only had the 52 a couple times. I enjoyed them, but thinking about that box of 10 when you could find a Vihique 52 is $800.
yeah,
You know how many cigars you could buy?
Right.
You know how many good Nicaraguan cigars I could buy? I could buy a box of Aladino Corojo Reservas, a couple of boxes of Supreme Leaf, some Crown Heads. Like I could buy 50 to 60 cigars to 10. So it's just like, and you can hear me say this, and people are like, well, you review Cubans. I like Cubans, but again, it's just going to depend on what kind of smoker you are. And most smokers don't have the patience for it, or they don't have the inventory. If you only got 100 count humidor and then you got half of them that are Cubans, then of course there's going to be a problem because you're going to want to smoke them all the time. If you're sitting on a couple of thousand New World cigars, and you can push the Cubans in the back and forget about them, then it becomes worth it. Then,
guys, I froze up. I gotta refresh. So you're going to be in the thing by yourself for a second.
Okay, sounds good. And Lee Mac, I understand what you mean about the. Can you hear me? It went real quiet. Okay, it went real quiet. But I understand where you're coming from about since me only had one Cuban, but it's like for me, I guess it's still the factor of like Ron said, I want a cigar, I want to smoke it now.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, since I've had the Romeo Julieta, if I put that in line with, because the one that I had, I would much rather have that Romeo Julieta sit for a couple years, and because it was not there for me.
Right. Because then you buy a box of Cubans, and let's say the box is only 8 months old, and you force yourself to smoke them, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You pretty much are throwing away money.
Yeah.
So.
So you guys weren't around when Maduros, like 10, 11 years ago, when Maduros were really becoming a popular thing and hitting the market hard and stuff. You were getting a lot of boiled leaves, a lot of painted leaves, and oh my gosh, I don't know how the Maduro lived through that season, because there was just a lot of crap coming out, man.
And I think I was a victim of that at first. When I first started smoking, I was really into Maduros, and then I realize now, for me to really enjoy a nice Maduro cigar, it's got to have some age on it. It's got to be fermented really well. Like if I don't get it, like I feel like with this Connecticut broadleaf Mexican San Andres, like if it's not fermented well and they're just rushing it, you can tell it's get this gritty dirt taste, and it's just not enjoyable, man. Like, so I feel like I've ventured more towards like Corojo, Criollo. I've always been a Cameroon fan. I like Sumatra. I've dabbled more with the natural, or the more natural leaves, more so than the Maduro leaf.
Right. Oh man, a good Cameroon is hard to beat.
Oh man, yeah.
A good Cameroon wrapper is hard to beat. It's so good.
One of my favorite cigars of all time, the Tatuaje Black Label, is a Criollo wrapper, which and of course, like Corojo right now is probably my favorite wrapper right now.
Yeah.
The Aganorsa is doing with the Corojo is just second to none, man. I've had a few cigars from Aganorsa that I haven't been crazy about, but Warp does with them, Illusion, HVC. They've been putting out some really good cigars, man.
Have you tried any of the Lunatic cigars from Aganorsa?
That new torch in the Visionary size is box worthy.
Really?
Yes.
Man, I haven't liked any of the Lunatics that I've tried so far.
Have you smoked the torch? The one with the brush foot on it. You know, they got the regular Lunatic line and they have the torch.
No,
I
haven't.
The torch was around, but apparently they revamped the box design and I think they tweaked the blend a little bit. It's one of those cigars, like I'm not even a large ring gauge fan, but I hate to say it, but even the 70 ring gauge smokes really good.
Really?
Yes. And that's one thing I'll say about like Asylum and Aganorsa or a few companies that know how to blend big cigars well.
Yeah, I like James Garcia commented, if you buy a couple boxes and then buy a box of Cubans every year and sit on the first ones for a couple of years, now you've got a cache of cigars to draw from that you can just keep smoking Cubans.
Because I'm telling you, when you get you a real, and you like it too, Vic, you get you a well-aged Boulevard, Royal Corona, or Bellicoso Fino.
Bellicoso Fino's a good stick, man. I like that one.
It's that flavor that people. It's the flavor when you get a good one and the draw and the performance is good. That's what people are chasing. It's like when you, okay, I see why people smoke Cubans now. Like, I get it, but a lot of them, man, just the construction issues are there. Like I did that review of the Partagas Series D number 5. I think that's one of the few cigars that doesn't need an extreme amount of age, but man, it performed so bad, and it just had to relight, and it just ruined the whole cigar for you, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. He said you might not live till next year, which is a good point. But that's why you should have a humidor full of other good cigars, so you're making sure you're smoking good cigars all the time.
There you go.
I've got a humidor, a New Air humidor, completely dedicated to Crown Heads now. Full up with Crown Head stuff, man.
Oh, really?
I can't, like I told everybody, because some people have asked me over time about a humidor tour, and I'm not really huge on it, but I said once I reach 5,000, I'll do one. I think when y'all see the video, y'all be like, man, that's your setup. I think people are really digging. It's a cheaper alternative than spending these thousands of dollars on these big fancy LED lit up things. Like,
right.
For me, as long as you have a very good seal and a good capacity, like I'm good. I don't need all the fancy digital lights and all this stuff. Like as long as my seal is good and it's keeping my cigars in good condition, that's what I'm worried about. So
okay, so Lee Mac says he'll let me keep the Crown Heads.
So Lee used to really love Crown Heads, man, but then I think at one point his palate changed, or just how John started blending, and it just wasn't hitting them right. And even for me too, like I still say I'm still a really, really big Crown Heads fan, obviously, but there are some cigars in there that I'm not afraid to tell John. We'll call him or text him sometimes, like, hey, he'll be like, what'd you think? I was like, it was okay. Like, like I smoked the Mule Kick, I said, this one's good. I smoked the Edmundo, I said, that one's good. So Tabacalero Pichardo, I have a full faith in them now because they came on with the Juarez and then followed it up. So now you're showing me that you can work with Maduro and non-Maduro. Like, all right, we got a good factory here. Like, John, you found a hidden gem.
So that brings up a couple questions. One, I have made up my mind emphatically what is the best hygrometer on the market. So before I say anything about that, what do you guys feel about hygrometers? What do you use? What do you like?
I was about to start. I was going to use a Golgi one that I saw was on sale on Amazon. I didn't get a chance to get it when it was on sale, but right now I just got a couple of Zycar ones that are scattered throughout. And I have a Boveda Butler too, just to kind of. I don't even really look at it as much as I did the first month, but I kind of check it every now and then to see how close it is to my digital hygrometer.
Yeah, I got a Zycar.
Spot on.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm big on the digital ones that I want a Wi-Fi capable one because I'm always checking my stuff like when I'm traveling and everything. And so far, nothing beats the sensor push. Sensor pushes, they're expensive. So
does it have a big face on it? Because that's like a big thing for me.
What's that?
Does it have a big display face on it too, or is it just kind of one of those?
So it's a small little cube and there's no display at all. You just put it in your humidor and forget about it.
Okay.
And it all goes off your phone. So if you use just the sensor by itself, it's Bluetooth with your phone. But they've got a wireless gateway. The gateway speaks Bluetooth to the sensor, and then the gateway uploads to the cloud so that you can check your stuff.
Okay.
And battery life, accuracy, the biggest thing is battery life. You easily get a year out of those, and you don't ever have to monkey with it or anything. The Govee, the Boveda Butler, I think the Boveda Butler's crap. It goes through batteries like crazy, man.
I haven't had to change my battery on it yet, but what I don't like about it is once I leave my house, man, it's just once I'm out of range of it, it just doesn't. And so I'm like, well, what good is it? Like I need it for when I'm away from the house. When I'm at home, I could just walk upstairs and check it. Like
exactly.
I'm not gonna be that lazy where I can't walk up a flight of stairs just to look at it. You know, I need it for when I'm at work or if I'm at work and the temperatures have gotten really crazy, I want to be able to check it on my phone, and it's just like impossible.
So the sensor push, the sensor itself will run you about $50, and you could use that by itself. To add the gateway to it is another $100. So you're into it for $150 at that point. But I'm telling you, everything else will fail long before that thing does. I've been using it now for 4 years.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, I think about 3 years. And it is the least maintenance, most accurate. Just, I love it. It absolutely works all the time.
I have to check that out. That's cool.
Yeah, because I'm simple digital. So it literally sits at the top of my closet and just it is what it is. I'll check it, but.
And do you does yours talk to your phone? Do you have an app on your phone, or do you just check the face of it?
No, I just check the face of it.
Okay, gotcha. The other question I was going to ask is, let's see, humidimeters. I'm not sure I want to prick holes in my cigars. Okay, so Janice, the humidimeter is, in my opinion, it's a must-have tool, especially if you do a lot of mail order stuff. It is an awesome tool. If you go back in Kevin Cigar Props videos, when he first got one and started talking about it, I was dubious about it. I was like, that's just a gimmick. Nobody needs that thing. But then I got one, and I was really surprised at what I was able to learn about my cigars with that thing.
Kevin, I have a lot of freedom at work, man. When I'm on the ambulance, I can just stop by my house. Who's taking it at work? Yeah, when I'm on the ambulance, I got free range. So if I got a problem, I stop by my house probably once a day when I'm at work.
No, Kevin, if I have to, I tell my wife to go throw another Boveda pack in mine or something. But
I don't trust her. I'm stopping by on my own, and whatever. I'm pulling the ambulance over at the house, and I'm stopping and addressing the problem right there. No, that's one thing I will say about my job. Like, I'm there for 24 hours, but when I'm on that thing, like the whole city is my territory. So I usually stop by my house because I don't like packages sitting out on my porch.
Right.
And, I'll go check on my dog and stuff too. So I stop by once a day.
The other question I have for you guys is, if you could only have 3 manufacturers that like you weren't going to buy everyone's cigars anymore. There were just 3 manufacturers. You were sticking with their lines. Who would those manufacturers be?
Padron. I'm gonna just put Aganorsa because I could say other companies, but they're using Aganorsa tobacco. So Padron, Aganorsa, and probably I throw a Cuban company in there. I just do Bolivar. I can smoke from those 3 companies forever.
Okay. Nice. What about you, Rob?
I'm on the cheaper side. Like me, I'm like your Crown Head. I'm
right.
Caldwell. I love Caldwell.
Right. I knew Caldwell would
my
be
go-to. Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's tough. I like Padron.
Yeah.
I like me some Ligas too, though.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Speaking of Caldwell, James, my sponsor that's in the chat, he's a huge Caldwell guy too.
Man, it's something about it, man. My all-time favorite, Long Live the King. All-time favorite. God, it's so good.
So for me, it would be obviously Crown Heads. I think Drew Estate would be number 2, and for me, it would be a toss-up between Dunbarton or Aganorsa for the third. I think one of those two would probably be it. And this is a question that's going to come out on one of my videos that I'm getting ready to drop here pretty soon. But I wanted to ask you about your sponsor thing and the stuff you got going on with
Black Lion.
Yeah, Black Lion. So.
Yeah, so as you guys know, like up until about 3 months ago, I had 2 sponsors. Well, me and James got to talking, and he wanted to have me over on board exclusively, and it wasn't really that hard of a choice, man, because what they offered me was something I felt like nobody else could, and so they gave me pretty much free or creative control over, or they just got their Cigar of the Month Club off the ground and gave me creative control over that. So that was huge for me because I was like, shit, there's not a reviewer out right now that can say that, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it because I still do samplers with Black Lion and stuff like that too. But to actually say that I have my own club, which was huge. And then on top of that too, you know, James has just been, he was there pretty much from the start. So like, and the loyalty for him was very easy too. And he's been a godsend. I think we found what happened was the timing was so perfect. Right. They were just getting Black Lion off the ground, so they were brand new. And then of course I was coming in as a brand new reviewer. So again, they were just able to offer me something that, you know, Corona cigar, CI, none of those places are going to offer exclusive rights to some, you know what I mean, exclusivity to somebody else. So I thought that was really cool, and that's what I was trying to stress to the people that are supporters of mine, you know, with the club. And the model that we have, I think, is very good, and we're 2 months in, and I think the third month is getting ready to drop in a couple of days. I think you guys you're going to be really excited about what you're getting in y'all's packages too. But I'm really excited, and it's ultimately going to help me with my goals of wanting to become a blender, because obviously we're going to be doing projects for the club, and I'll be having my hands in the blending process too. So it's
very cool
and crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for with. So I did a thing called the High Desert Man Tasting Kit with Fox Cigars, and it was doing great, but I just couldn't keep Rob. You know, they're busy. They've got their business to run and everything, and I was kind of a side thing, and I couldn't keep the consistency there, so I just stopped bugging him about it. But man, I still have people today asking me, "Hey, how do I get one of your tasting kits from Fox and stuff?" I'm like, "Man, we're not doing it anymore right now, and maybe in the future." But
see, and that's the difference, though. So like, there's people out there that claim they're like, "Oh, we're the smaller guys." It's like, you aren't a smaller guy. Like if you're moving multi-million dollars worth of merchandise and stuff, you're not a small. Like Black Lion is a small company.
Right.
Yeah. The guy that just made that content or that comment.
Right.
Every order that is made through Black Lion is filled and mailed out by him. There is no team. There is no team of people. There's no, you know, I'm emailing this company and somebody else, an executive or something, is getting to me. Like, he's the one that's emailing you. Some people have his personal phone number, so it's like just that complete organic small feel is like what drove me there. Like it's right. It's completely awesome because I can sit there and look and be like, I literally have something that's very genuine and very organic that nobody else has, man. Like it's been great, man. So
okay, so question. I still have yet to sign up for a monthly thing of anything.
Right.
What can I expect from Black Lion?
So, like I've told a lot of people, the club is probably not going to really be geared towards the newer smoker. It's going to be because of me putting me with my hands in it. I'm not the most experienced smoker, but my palate is pretty defined. I know what I like and why I like it. But if I'm telling you as a person to join the club, I'm going to tell you that we are going to be very competitive in price point, because a lot of the cigars that you're going to see in the monthly club, you're not going to see these cigars in under clubs that are not, or the only way you'll see some of these cigars is if you're in a club that's charging you more than $50 a month. So to get out the door with 4 cigars at right at $38 a month, every month you're going to get a super premium, whether that's a Padron or a Davidoff, Opus X, whatever it is, you're going to get a super premium. And then you're going to have your other 3 cigars that may have, we're gonna put a lot of classics in there. Like you might see, like the last month we had the T by Caldwell and AJ Fernandez, the Maduro. And then we'll also emphasize a lot of companies that may not be getting a lot of attention that we think needs a lot of attention. Like HVC has started getting a lot of notoriety. We're working with, like you might see Illusion in there, you might see Warp, you might see Dominican Big Leaguers, another company that we're talking to as well. So like,
nice.
You're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like from watching my content and watching my videos and you should be able to tell, like I've told people, if you're looking for a person that's reviewing budget, and then nothing is wrong with this, but I'm not the reviewer that's going to be reviewing budget cigars. I'm reviewing cigars that I like to smoke.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not the reviewer that just reviews anything that's sent in to me or anything I pick up off the shelf. There's a reason why it's on the channel and why I'm reviewing the cigar. So same thing with the club, man. I think you're going to, we had a hell of a first month. Like the first month we had the Padron Family Reserve 90th anniversary. We had the Warped Maestro del Tiempo. We had the HVC Magicos La
Nice.
Rosa, and then we had the I forgot what that 4th cigar was we had in there. Skipping my mind, but the quality is going to be there. Like last month, we had the La Aurora Preferido Diamond, the Caldwell T Maduro, the Aladino Cameroon. We had the Jocelyn Crawl Tyrannical Buck. A lot of these cigars, you're not going to even. I like the Tyrannical Buck. I can't even get that cigar locally. So. Right. Somebody that's in the club is like, cool, I'm getting cigars that I've never seen before. I'm getting to try. The Aladino Cameroon is a cigar that's popular, but you may not have smoked it yet. And then the Preferido Diamond, that's a $20 cigar. Now, you may be able to see it in some places, but how many times are people going to go just spend $20 on a cigar?
Right.
So you get all that 38 chip.
Does that?
So how much a month?
It's $30, but with shipping, it's $37.95 shipped.
Still, that's not bad.
You answered my question.
I'm not going to say all the cigars in September, but the value is right at $60.
Holy cow!
Cigars alone are covering the cost of the box. So you could look at it this way: you're either getting 2 cigars for free, or you're buying 3 cigars and you're getting a super premium for free.
I mean, you're 100% getting your money's worth. 100%.
The club's not designed to make money. The club is designed to get Black Lion's name out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just wow.
Oh, keep your eyes and ears, keep your eyes peeled, man.
I'm gonna, because I've been looking. There's so many clubs out there, from Corona to Stogie Birds to you name it.
There's places for all of them.
But
like,
man,
I know Lee Mac are Pravada guys. I'm not really a big Pravada guy, but everybody has. They choose clubs for whatever reason. Now, I will say with the club we're doing, like I talked to Lee Mac off camera and off record before, and he doesn't. So for me, if I smoke a cigar that's pretty rare and I really love it, I want to be able to smoke it again and again and again. Where Lee Mac's like, if I have it one time, I'm fine with it. And I know, Vic, you ended up doing 2 orders because you wanted to start it doubling up on some stuff.
Right,
so
right.
For the club that we're doing, it's going to be a club that these are cigars you could find. They're not going to be impossible to find, but there might not be cigars that you might not all the time. Like, think about how many people haven't smoked a Padron before. So for $38, you'll be able to at least say you had one, or however many we decide to put in the monthly box, So,
well, see, for me, we're very limited on. I say limited. I just don't go out my comfort zone. But like the shop, that's literally, I'd say probably maybe 5 minutes down the road. I'm very limited on cigars.
And that's what clubs are good, because they're going to push. Like if you join, I could speak for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna push your palate, because there's gonna be some stuff in there that you may not have heard of, or stuff you might have walked past.
See, I love that though. I love the fact of smoking a cigar that I'm like, what the hell? What is this? You know, I just I guess that's another reason why I like going to these small mom and pop shops and finding these random cigars that's pushed at the back of a humidor that hasn't been touched in years.
Mm-hmm.
These random like boutique friggin' cigars. That's I guess I like those.
Luxury for the blue collar cigar aficionado or blue collar cigar enthusiast. So I feel like all three of us on camera are very blue collar, just regular guys.
Right.
But our budgets might all be different.
Yeah.
I don't, but I might be that guy that could buy a box of Padrones once a month. You might buy 2 Padrones a year. Vic might smoke a Padron once a month. So the goal is to just put as many good cigars in the hands of as many people as we can. So that's really the goal.
I might jump on there for a little while, man, and check it out.
I was about to say, that sounds really nice, man. I might.
There's no obligation, Vic. You know how those clubs work. You can just cancel anytime you want to,
Right. Yeah.
That sounds really nice. I like that.
I think what I look for mostly in the clubs is just, what are they doing different? That's what gravitated me to Pravada so much, because nobody's doing what he's doing. He keeps changing things up. He keeps doing things different, and he's working his tail off all the time. But I think the same thing with the Cigar Authority Care Package. Now in there you might get some duds once in a while and stuff, but you're always going to get more than your money's worth.
Well, and this is the thing that people don't understand too, or they're just not even being realistic about. You're not gonna like every cigar every month.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. So I hate when I'm like, or I hate when people say, man, every cigar here is a banger every month. Like, no, it's not. So like, even for me, I might like all 4 of those cigars, but you might get it and you might be like, 2 of them were good. I didn't care for 2 of them, but I can appreciate and I'm glad I was able to smoke it to get the experience.
Exactly.
One of those cigars you may never heard about might become one of the cigars that are really strong in your rotation now. So, but we got some really big stuff planned. We got some crazy months ahead, and me and James have been working on some stuff, and
that's cool, man. That's really cool. That's
I'm definitely have to look into it for sure.
Definitely, man. Rob, like I said too, I know your palate is pretty close to mine, so I think. And even though you've only been smoking for almost 2 years, I think I would okay something like I would feel good with somebody like you jumping in, as opposed to somebody that's been smoking a year but they only smoke 1 cigar a month or something. I'm like, this might not be, because a lot of the cigars you may smoke, you might not be able to pick up the nuances or how what you really got in your hands and what you're smoking.
Gotcha. Okay. Shoot.
Yeah, how long's that company been around now? You said they started around the same time you started your channel?
Yeah, beginning of August was a year for them. So literally they were a month out the gate before me. So
wow.
Timing was everything, man, because I feel like me and James we've had so many long sit down and talks and just conversations about all kinds of stuff. And we figured out very early on that we were very compatible with the goals that we had for the community and where he wanted the company to go, where I wanted my channel to go. And honestly, that's why I was okay with dropping any other sponsor. And I think, it didn't, I'm not saying it hurt me, but I think there are a lot of people, a lot of channels or a lot of memberships or clubs that probably would have reached out to me, but they probably haven't, because they just know now, like, for me, it's just all black line. And that's just not, and that's not me dogging on any other club or anything. This is just, I have to stay loyal to the company that believed in me from the beginning,
Yeah,
absolutely.
They were there at 200-300 subs when I was getting 50 views a video, man. They saw something in me. And after talking with James and talking to Nick, I believed in what they got going on. So it's been great, man.
So you said earlier that you've got a camera guy.
Yeah, Eric.
So he films your videos while you're smoking and stuff? He
does. The past month or two has been me doing most of the filming, because I've just been trying to take the strain off of him, because he injured his hand.
Right.
So I just kind of was like, all right, it's like I'm gonna take over the recording and stuff and just kind of leave the editing and stuff to you. That way you aren't having to be overwhelmed with all kinds of stuff. So I've taken on the filming and stuff too, which at first I was like, man, it's gonna be crazy, but looking back on, I'm actually very happy that I actually took over the recording now, because it's made me more comfortable and more strong. That way I know, like, you know, I'm not fully dependent on somebody. You know, sometimes you get dependent on something, and then if that gets pulled away from you, then you're looking around like, oh shit, well, where's my channel gonna go?
Right.
Now I know, like, you know, it might not look as pretty or might not be as glamorous, but I can get the job done, you know. So
how many cameras do you use on your
right
videos?
now we're just running a Canon EOS 90D, but here in the next couple of months, I'm gonna buy a camera and we'll be running 2 cameras.
Yeah, man, that's one thing that I've had lots of ideas and other things I'd like to do with mine, but when you're one person, man, it's really that's why Kevin, myself, why we just kind of keep it, you know, the format that we do, because when there's a fine line between just putting out a video and just going crazy on editing. You can spend hours editing video and all this stuff, and it takes a lot of work, and that's something a lot of people don't see, man.
It's and Eric's been a godsend for me, because when he took over the filming and editing for me around 2 or 3 months into the channel, it was great because I didn't have to focus on that so much. I could just focus on the content and concepts and stuff and get that together. Right. Whereas, like you said, at first it was just all me, so I had to think about the concept, shooting, editing. So it's been great, man. Like me and Eric work really well together. So like I said, everything has just worked out great. We've had some hiccups and stuff in the road, but that's to come with anything.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, so everything's not all rainbows and roses, but we get through it, you know. So.
And he does all your editing?
He does, yeah. Eric does. Man, the very first video Eric edited, you could go back on my channel and look up. It's the pairing with the Flor de las Antillas and the Bullet 10.
Okay.
And you can just look at the progression. And I told Eric, like, in February, I said, man, your editing has gotten so much stronger. And it's just like anything else, for repetition, you just get better and better and better. Because I could tell, I go back and I'm like, that video's not bad, but compared to what we're doing now, it's like, so I can only imagine in another year or two what the channel will be doing. Because I'm gonna go crazy quirky out there too. So, you know.
Quick question, real fast. It's Black Lion Luxuries, right?
Correct. Not a porn store.
I'm just making sure.
Is there a porn store out there that's like that?
My wife was like, official black. What is that, like a porn site or something? Like, so I always tell people, I'm like, not a porn. They're like, what, Black Lion? Like, yeah, man.
Oh, that's funny. So, man, so you must. I'm just thinking about your videos. You must move the camera around. It's you move it around a bit. How much? What am I trying to ask? How much are you moving the camera around during the smoke while you're smoking the cigar?
We have a specific lens I use when I do my intros where it's more close up, and then I have a regular lens. Actually, I don't. Once I set it down and I'm smoking through the review, like, I don't really move it that much. Now every now and then we'll set up a cell phone camera, which, you know, you've seen some videos where it shows me talking. Right. That's the cell phone, but that's where the other camera will come into play. We'll have a steady shot, and then we'll be able to do other stuff with the other camera too. So,
okay, but what about the close-ups of the cigars and the panning on the cigar and the smoke coming off and stuff? Is that while you're smoking that cigar?
The B-roll, I usually shoot the B-roll before I do anything. I'll go ahead and shoot the B-roll and then go ahead, because once I start reviewing, it'd be kind of weird for me to sit the cigar down while it's lit, smoking and stuff, showing you stuff. So I usually do most of the 90% of the B-roll before I do anything else. Gotcha.
$37.95.
That is it.
Sorry, y'all keep going.
He's already on there, man. Look, signing up.
And that's another thing too. Just Vic and Rob, anybody. So for me, like, if you're not even in the club, or if you want to buy anything from Black Lion Luxuries, there's a code for 10% off, and it's Ron sent me is the 10% off code, and then in my Patreons get 20% off, and then
too late for that.
You can't use it on the club though.
Oh, I was just saying, because
You just signed up.
Oh man, appreciate that, man. I appreciate
Nice.
that. I think that first box you're gonna really enjoy it.
I can't wait, man. You know, I've been wanting a good, solid.
I'm happy. Like I say, I know Vic, y'all both have been huge supporters of mine from pretty much the start too. So that means a lot. I'm glad to see you signed up, man.
Did
Can't wait.
did he get signed up in time to get this next box that's coming out?
Oh yeah, I'll make sure he gets.
Okay, nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Caesar don't get none. Screw him.
You gotta hide that stash from him, man.
We're gonna create a mile pack for Caesar.
What Lee Mack says that it'll help expand your palate.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna push your
That's true.
palate a lot, man. Yeah.
That's good.
So,
That's nice, man. That's very cool.
Mr. Blue, I appreciate you. He just said he signed up to Mr. Blue. I appreciate you, man.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to jump in there for at least a few months and check it out.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, everything's worth a shot. I mean, everything, like, I mean, I don't know if you've done sales pitch before, but I mean, you kind of pitched it really good.
But
So,
you know, for me, it's not even really more like I don't even look at it as like a pitch. It's just kind of me, just you know how I tell you, just being honest about everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Like I said,
like,
there's different clubs for different people. So some people, there's a cheaper club where I get more cigars. But it depends on what kind of smoker you are. If you are more, because there are smokers that care more about quantity, more so like I don't really care about Padrones and stuff. That's not really for me. I just like value, which is cool. Then you have the people like Pravada, like Lee and Vicar.
Oh God,
they want more exclusive rare stuff. And then you have, so there's clubs for everybody.
Oh my
dad. Quake. No.
The CAO bonus.
I'm gonna tell you, it's not in this month, Rob. So you're good.
I'm about to say I would be tray bait.
You're good. No, it ain't no. See, and that's another thing too. I have to smoke. I'm smoking all the cigars I put in, so there'll never be a cigar that's put in there and then because you know what I mean. So say if I put a cigar in there, you're like, well, Ron, what do you think about the Maestro del Tiempo? And I'm like, I don't know. I just thought it looked good, so I put it in there. So I haven't smoked the bones yet, so it's not fair game.
Yeah, so don't smoke it. Looks like a lot of people are signing up now.
Yeah, Brandon just said he joined as well. Nice.
Brandon, I appreciate you, brother. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy what all we got in store. We got a lot of stuff planned, and trust me when I tell you, me and James are working hard every day to try to make sure that these months are good months for you guys. So, Brew Geek, another big supporter, man. Appreciate you too, Brew Geek.
Brew Geek, are you a coffee guy? Because I'm pretty sure on one of your, I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw a cup of coffee or something related to coffee with you, and I thought that's where you got your name. I'm a big coffee guy. I'm working on something coffee related.
Sean just made a very good point too. So when you're in the club, we do once a month. We do a Zoom with the club members. So
that's cool.
Oh wow,
that's really cool.
Last month we got Risty from Josh McCraw. The first month we had I missed the first month's check because I was working. But September, Rob, we got a really good one lined up for September. You'll want to make that one. I will say that I can't give a name.
Sounds good.
Artists in there, but we got a good Zoom plan for you guys.
Sounds good, man. I can't wait.
Hey man, the September lineup will be out Tuesday.
Can you? Well, I guess people are on it. Nobody knows what they're getting yet. I was going to ask you what people are getting.
I love you, man. I would love to give the spill the beans, but I'll just say Tuesday, September 1st, you'll be able to see a picture of what's in the month. But I think y'all be happy though. I think once you look at the lineup, you'll be like, shit, for $38, yeah, this is a no-brainer.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Hardcore home brewer of beer in the past. Oh, that's cool. Coffee is my favorite cigar pairing. Yeah, I don't think anything goes with a cigar like coffee does, and coffee is so versatile, man. There's so much stuff you can do with it.
That's why I Barista Vic.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I'll tell you, my my wife and I've been a coffee guy for many, many years, longer than I've been into cigars and stuff. And I kept buying different machines and stuff, and trying to save money and everything. And I don't know how many machines we had that I just stopped using because I was like, this thing is crap, man. It doesn't make a good espresso, whatever. And my wife and I moved up to Washington for a year. We thought we were going to go up there and stay. Had a horrible experience. I was like, nope, we're hitting the road. We're going back to Arizona. And when we came back to Arizona, the whole year was a really, really bad year. It was epically bad. And I ended up coming down first. I was down here for about 6 months. And we had a house in Arizona that we were renting out. And we had planned on, once the lease was up for the renters, we were going to remodel the house and just move back into that house. And I told my wife, why don't we just build a new house? And, we'll do everything the way we want out of the gate and stuff. And she said, "Oh, that'd be awesome."
Farm too. Like if I ever get out to Arizona, I'm gonna have to stop by and see you. I think I see the video with the goats and everything. I'm like, man,
dude, my place. I absolutely love my place. It's so that place that we moved into. My wife, she went crazy on the kitchen. She really went did the kitchen up the way she wanted and stuff. And I said, look, you can do whatever you want, but can I get a real coffee machine?
That's it.
She said, yeah, you can. So I dropped some coin, man. I dropped about $4,000 on my setup, and we were in that house for 3 years, and people started closing in around us, and we were like, this was a mistake, man. So we sold the house, and then we moved up here and bought this place. And this place has been
that's my only goal. Like, I like our house now, but all the bedrooms are upstairs, which I'm not a fan of. But,
Right.
The next house, if we end up building anything, I want to do a single story. And I told her, you can do whatever you want to inside the house. I want to get me a detached garage, a pretty nice size detached garage where I can kind of go out and smoke and do whatever I want to do out there. So.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't lose my place here a couple of weeks ago when we had that fire, man.
I can see it in your face. You were just looking like all hell is breaking loose. Like, what is going on?
The guy that came on camera, was that the chief?
No, the guy that came on camera was our deputy, and
okay.
So that there's kind of a funny story behind that. He followed me in here. And he was looking around. He's a deputy, and he's a really cool guy, but he's a little bit too gung ho. And he came in to check it out. What am I doing in here? And
I think it was funny. He was just like,
you're like, man, I'm here drinking coffee, smoking cigars. Like what?
Yeah, he's here an hour, just like,
Well, so
he's just staring at us.
I've got all my cook set up out here in front of me, and he's looking around, and I call it the lab. I always call it the lab, and he was like, so why do you call it the lab? What are you doing there? And I was like, Jeff, nothing funny's going on, man.
Freaking bad stuff.
And the fact you look like Heisenberg. There you go.
I wouldn't let you just walk in here if I was doing so. Yeah, it's all good though, man. I live in a cool community. The people here are cool. We got, it's like any place else. You got it's a small community. The population here is only 500 people, and I'm one of the more remote people in this community. So, I don't see anybody in the community hardly at all.
My wife is from the country. I think at this stage in our life, we kind of like so we're about, without traffic, we're about 20. We can get anywhere in about 20 to 25 minutes. But I think as I get older, I'm gonna probably want to go more out towards like the country or something to have a little bit of land where I'm not really surrounded by like neighbors and stuff like that. Like I think that sounds appealing to me, just not right now at this stage.
Dude, I've had an issue with neighbors coming through my property the last week. A lot of neighbors coming through my property, all deer.
Oh,
I'm about to
Lot of
say,
you got two other friends you can use, Smith and Wesson.
I'm about to say around here, no, they get shot.
No, so I get black bear, mountain lions, javelina, elk. Elk and deer are on my property all the time.
How close does a bear come to you? Probably like 100 yards.
Well, for me, just probably within 40 or 50 yards. My about a year and a half ago, my son was in the barn, and he walked out, and he was walking out so I'm about 50 yards from my house.
Right.
And a black bear came walking through right behind my son. He passed right past my son, and my wife was freaking out, and my son didn't even know until he got to the yard and turned around and saw it.
Yeah, if I lived there, I'd probably have like a 30-06 on my shoulder.
And question, because my son, when I say that he lives literally on like a mountain top, it's literally, you drive through and there's thousands of deer just roaming the streets like it's nothing. So I'm guessing they just adapt to their surrounding, like,
because they looking at us like, man, we were here before you.
Yep.
This is our land. Like, what are y'all doing here?
It's just like, I mean, when I drive up to go see them, it's like, I mean, I'm getting bombarded with freaking deer. I'm like, shouldn't y'all be running the other way? Like, I mean, I don't know. But,
yep,
they'll walk right up to you. Oh, can too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He came in the little pedal fire truck. He pedaled his way over there.
Yeah. We get a lot of javelina, and people think javelina are wild pigs, but they're not. They're actually related to rats. They're a rodent, but they're big.
Really?
Is
it like a capybara over like in Australia, kind of?
Yeah, kind of same. I mean, they look different, but yeah, same type of
kind of build or what? Yeah.
But javelina have really, really bad eyesight, and I've had javelina. I've been working out in front of my barn before, and they're called ghosts of the desert because they're stealthy as heck. They're super stealthy, and I've been working out there before and have had a whole herd of javelina come right in around me within 2 or 3 feet, nibbling at stuff on the ground, and they can smell me, but they can't see me. And
oh wow,
that's a little too remote for me, Vic.
Yeah, that's too much.
Javelina are cool, but they can be super mean. They can tear you up,
a bigger possum. I'd be good with like deers and fox and stuff like that, but when you start talking about bears and stuff like that, I'm out.
You don't get to choose, man. I
get it. Like, yeah. Like I said, they were there before you, so it's just like, yeah.
Most we got here is big ass nutria rats, and them motherfuckers don't play. Like, not at all, man. I remember there was one sitting in my room. I picked out my window. It's sitting on a fence. Shot it with a little BB gun. You
just pissed him off, huh?
Yeah. He just looked at me. I'm like, yeah. You have a good day. You have a good day.
Caesar, jump in here if you're back home, man. We'll be a few more minutes, but we don't have to dip real quick. If you're back home, man, jump in. Yeah, I love the country. I love where I live, and it's scary. We're kind of I'm down in a valley, and there's 2 roads in and out, and they're both dirt mountain roads, a south road and a north road, and we're in fire country. There's fires around here all the time. There's just a couple. Last week there was a fire south of us, and they closed down the south road. They were trying to take care of that. So I get worried about fire. That's the thing that scares me the most is fire.
Yeah, because when it gets to a certain level, it just gets out of control, and you get wind and stuff involved, and that's all it takes.
Yeah. I stick with my hurricanes. I'm good.
That's why I plan on going to I was looking at Pensacola, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, a couple of places I was looking at for retirement. So everybody's like, "Oh, the hurricanes, the hurricanes." I'm like, hey.
I'd rather have a hurricane over fire, earthquakes, all that. I'm good. Just give me the hurricane.
Well, hurricane, fire, all that stuff, it cleans the land, man. It cleans the land, and it might clean some people out in the process, but you know, it's all natural.
Hey, at least you know.
Caesar's going to jump in here.
You can kind of swim, right? You can't really swim in fire.
yeah. You're not swimming in a hurricane, dude.
No. You must have never been to Texas.
No, I know it gets deep and stuff, but you ain't swimming in that, man. It's going to overtake you.
Oh, we'll get floaties, man.
Somehow I feel like a beer in a koozie is going to be involved in it too.
Here, hold my beer.
No judgment.
Population control, Sean says. That's true, man.
Shout out to the hoodie god, man.
Yeah, we had that. I think 2 years before I moved out here, they had that. Well, they made a movie about it. Those firemen, those hot shots that died.
Yeah, that was really, really unfortunate, man.
They
deployed how much stuff they don't have. They don't have a lot of equipment when they go out there.
Oh, wildland fire. Yeah, woodland fires are totally different, man.
You couldn't pay me to be a wildland firefighter. Like, you could. I'm good. When you out there with just a shovel and a blanket and stuff, and that, like, nah, I'm good.
That was how we dealt with. I've only worked. I think I've worked 6 or 7 fires, and you're out there trenching, man. You're trying to or doing some back burning and stuff, trying to get control of it. But
so you talk about tired. You get done fighting a house fire or a big grass fire and go home. You talk about tired.
Oh yeah.
You get out the shower, you're gonna be done.
See, that's why hurricanes I'd rather have.
And you don't have an appreciation for the heat until you feel it, man.
Yeah.
It is so hot. It is unbelievably hot.
We have all that stuff on it. People think that it's fireproof, and I said, no, it's not fireproof. You still can burn and still feel it. It just gives you a barrier where you can kind of go in there and tolerate it. But like, when you get in a house that's 800-900 degrees, like, oh, you're just like a chicken in the oven roasting. Like, you can. It's right. I've seen people come out of houses and their turnouts are on fire. Like, they still get fire.
I have seen my dad. I don't know if he still has it or not, but his face shield.
Oh man, melted,
dude, melted.
I got a bad. My first building got burned bad.
I already asked him.
He asked me, Caesar. I got a calendar for you, but I don't know if it's gonna be the one you want.
Okay, Jesus. Caesar, you got to go back to school, dude. I was trying to figure out what you were asking about there. You
don't know how to spell right. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Man, oh man.
Where you at, man? Hurry up, get in here. You're chatting.
God, I hate this.
Yeah, I
got to turn off.
Get out of here.
What's your laptop is rocking or something? I hear it rocking on the table.
Yeah, I got to move it every once in a while. I freaking what is this screensaver, whatever the hell it is.
It'll pop up on you if you aren't doing anything on it.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here, so I got to move it. And...
Spell check did me wrong.
Yeah, I blame it on spell check too.
Spell check didn't happen. That's what it had.
The spell check said, "No, I'm going to let this one slide."
That's what it was. I'm gonna let the world see this.
Oh man! So how old is your kid?
Quincy will be 2 in November.
2 years old. Wow.
He's already a handful too, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was telling my wife the other day. My son is getting married in November.
I saw that. Tell him I said congratulations when you see him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got a really cool girl. We like her a lot, and I was telling my wife, I have this just hilarious story that my son and I, this was a little bit into my career. I had set up a network in my house with computers, and my son and I were playing this game, Unreal Tournament. We'd play against each other and stuff all the time. And I won't go into the story because I can't do it justice. It was one of those things you had to be there. But it is one of my best memories with my son. He was about 10 years old. And at the time, he was like afraid of the dark. And he had an unreasonable fear of spiders and stuff. And we were in this level that had a lot of spiders. And he was screaming like a little girl, man. And I was telling my wife just the other day, I want to go back to my son being 10 years old, man, playing Unreal Tournament.
But you know what's really important? What I hear about that too is though, like you spent time with him. So like that's one thing I try to do is just try to make sure I spend a lot of time with him, because that's one thing we don't get back is time. And these first 2 years went by really fast. Like I remember when he first was born, I could hold him and his body was half of my chest. And now if I hold him, his legs dangle over and stuff. So it's just like
right. It's the most important thing you can do. And you know, I have a big thing about divorce sucks and splitting families up sucks and stuff. But there's a balance. A mom has her job, a dad has his job, right. And it takes those two together to provide the balance for the children. And man, being there and you don't have to do great grandiose things. It's just right. Spending time with your kid.
It's time is it, man. I mean, you think about that. Sometimes parents think that just buying them stuff or something like what they'll remember most of the time is that you were there.
Yep,
that's what they'll remember. You were there.
Yeah, my kids. I took my kids to a lot of Christian rock concerts when they were younger. A lot of concerts, and I'd be in the mosh pit with my son. I could mosh with the best of them, man. And my kids remember all that stuff. They're like none of our friends, their parents take them out to concerts, or they'll just drop them off or whatever. And it's just a memory that my kids have.
I think that's one of those things you do. Like, so every generation is supposed to get better and better. Same thing. Like for me, like I look at things that my mom and dad did, and I try to amplify that. And then, when my son gets older and has kids, I want him to amplify what I did. You become a better parent than what your parents were to you. Just try to keep that trend going forward and forward.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
We don't really think about it because we look like, my dad or parents were there, they were great, and it's like, well, they were great, but you should try to be better. Right. We all have flaws. We all have things or our parents all did things that we wish they did differently. So yeah. I try to do things that my mom and dad didn't do, and I try to make sure I'm doing that with Quincy too. So it's just like, it's been great though, and it was a point in time in my life I didn't want to be married or have kids.
Right.
It's the best thing that's happened to me. So I'm very glad that it worked out the way it did. He's helped me grow in more ways than he probably will ever know. But
isn't that true, man?
Yeah.
Kids have a way of making you more responsible, making you grow up and stuff.
It's not about you anymore. You actually got you get married, and of course your spouse is your significant other. That's the one thing, but it's still something different about when that you help create something.
Right.
So it's just a whole different level. You got, and that's why I was telling people, you have just different levels of love, like.
What's your wife think about you being a fireman?
She doesn't mind, and she once I make this promotion, she'll be a lot more happy because I'll be home every day.
Right.
And, which will be, everybody, me, her, we both will be happy about that. I'm sure the kids at that point will be happy. I'll be home too. So, but at first when she see me come home, or she see I get my ears burned or something, she'd be all worried. Or right. if she calls me and I don't answer, she's always going from 0 to 100 that quick. Like, what's wrong? Like, I'm on a call. I'll call you or text you when I get back or whatever. So, but over the years, I think she's gotten a lot more comfortable, and she knows I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy to jeopardize putting her in a bad situation with Quincy. Where I'm not going to put
right.
myself in a situation where I'd ever have her fend for herself to try to raise him by herself. So
right. So how long have you been married?
It'll be 5 years in November.
Oh wow, that's cool, man.
That went by fast too.
It does. It goes by really fast. My wife and I just had our 24th anniversary, and it's bizarre to me that we've been married that long.
Excellent. My parents divorced right at 20 years. I have one younger brother. He was seven when they divorced. So,
What was? I don't mean to get too personal on you or anything, but was that weird for you? I mean, for me, there's always been something that I just can't wrap my head around a couple that's been married 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and then they get a divorce. I think, man, you guys have been through so much together.
I see both sides of it, right? So, like, from talking to my mom, she said that she was unhappy like the last half of the marriage. So, on one hand,
okay.
I can understand and respect a person saying, I'm at this point, you know, I always tell people preservation is really important. You have to make sure you yourself are happy and are healthy, because if you aren't, if you're not happy or you're not satisfied, then how can you make somebody else happy? So on one side, I can see where it's like, if I'm not happy, but at the same time, on the other side, I'm like you, like, y'all been married for 20 years, like y'all can't get through
whatever.
But you know, so I understand it though, you know, and at that point I wasn't married, so I couldn't have put myself in her shoes of being, or my dad being married for 20 years. I think I just know that would suck one day to wake up and just be like, and somebody just say, you know, I don't want to be with you anymore. And you have grown to build up a life with them. You have a home. You've done things. So now you're like, man, I got to start from ground zero at age 40.
Right.
So it's just like, man, it's got to be tough, man. So, but I you know, I've even told my wife, you know, I haven't met anybody else that I would want to spend, or that I feel comfortable another woman being around her every day as of yet. So like, I don't even think I'd be married right now if it wasn't for her. Just because I know, you know, like sometimes I can be a pain in the ass, you know, like. I'm just being honest. I'm real outspoken at times, and then sometimes I can be very hard-headed too. So I know I can be sometimes a pain in the ass to deal with. But she does a really good job. She's really open and she's very supportive of me starting the YouTube channel. I asked her the other day, we were laying in bed, getting ready to go to bed, and I asked her, I said, "Did you ever think that the channel would be this?" She's like, "I had no idea," you know. Because you know, at first we just start a channel, they think, "Oh, it's just going to be like." Whatever, you put a video up every now and then or something, and then it turns into a whole thing where, you know, she's seeing people, you know, all the DMs and the emails and the comments, and she's like, man, this is crazy. Like, you know, really cool people out there that really care about what you got to say.
Right.
What's up, guys?
What's happening, bro?
Oh, man.
Hey, I know I'm late. I know I'm super late, so y'all might be getting done. I just want to stop by and say hi.
Nice.
Yeah, I know I'm going to have to get off here soon and get ready to take a shower. I got to work tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure I stayed on before you got on, man. I knew it was your daughter's birthday today, so I had a feeling you were going to be doing some family time, so I understand it.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to do anything today until the very last minute. I get home from work, and my wife's like, we're going to take her to her favorite restaurant. I'm like, I thought we were going to do that tomorrow. She's like, no.
Hey,
that's cool, man.
That is the moment in time when every husband is like, yep, I got to take this L.
Yeah.
So did you guys have fun?
Yeah, my daughter loves seafood, so we took her to go eat oysters and shrimp and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, I think we managed to get Black Lion Luxuries another 4 or 5 people on their club.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I've been a huge fan from when y'all started. I've also liked both of y'all's channels before y'all decided to merge into this show. And to me, this is very. I've played it before. Like when I was telling Kevin on Cigar Prop, I think that this is another outlet that makes this stuff very important. I tell people all the time, make sure you guys are supporting your favorite content creators, whether it's sharing or liking videos, whether it's financial, whatever it is. Just make sure you keep these guys.
Holy crap, Mr. Blue. That is really cool, man. I'm sort of dumbfounded. Nobody's done that before.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate you, Mr. Blue.
Thank you, Blue.
That's cool, man.
Usually I'm the one dumping it.
Yeah, I got this different camera angle right now. Usually, we're sitting up higher on a nice table. It's just that tomorrow is gonna be crazy. We have a big party, so I had to clean up the garage and make it look all nice. Because parties here go till like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Lee Mac, have a good night, my bud.
So I just left it open, but now.
And that's what I was gonna say too. I'll say this. I think for all of you guys.
Yeah, I know it's open.
And speaking for all of us, none of us have the biggest cigar channels out there, and of course that's not my goal either. But what I will say is, I feel like we have the biggest and the best support system around. Because, and I'm saying that because, we could be at 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, but then you're not very personable with people. So where we are now, you're getting to know these people. They're consistently in the chat. They're helping you out. You know their names. So you can't put a price on this and
what the heck?
Lee Mac, thank you, brother. Oh wow, James.
No way.
James Garcia.
Man.
Wow.
I'm telling you, and I'm telling you guys, James and Lee Mac for sure have been the two most important people for me throughout my journey on YouTube. And like I was telling you guys before, there would be no other person I would rather be paired with. And telling you guys, we got a lot of good stuff planned, and like I was saying before, if anything that I can do to help you guys with anything, y'all just let me know, and y'all know how to reach out to me.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's cool.
I'm excited to see how this. You said it's going to be able to be pushed out this month, right?
Yeah. We'll make sure you get the September box. Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it, man.
Listen, man, I'm going to sign up as soon as I get back in the house. So you make sure I get the September one as well.
All right, I got you, Vic. James is still in the chat. You hear that? But no, technically, usually if you sign up before the first of the month, you'll be guaranteed to get that month's box. So y'all should be good.
Awesome.
Okay, so
that's cool.
So I might have missed it. I know about the cigar club that you're doing. What is it? Black Luxury or something like that?
Black Line
Luxury. Well, how much is it a month? And how many cigars come in?
For you, it's $50.
Yeah, $50 for one cigar.
Whoa, for one, yeah.
For what? It got to be a badass cigar.
And you'll get the same cigar every month for a year.
Oh wow!
Diablo Punch.
Now we do 4 cigars for $30, but with shipping is going to be $37.95.
37. Yep.
That's not bad at all. That's pretty good.
I think once you see the months that we're putting together, you'll see like there are different clubs out there. There are going to be more expensive clubs out there that have 4 things, and then there'll be cheaper clubs with more quantity. But we're trying to zero in with the best of both worlds. So
right,
we're gonna you'll be able to look at the lineups that we have, man. And you'll know that we're putting a lot of thought and a lot of love into the club, man. So
that's awesome, man. Is this your line or is this?
Yeah, so James and Nick over at Black Line Luxury pretty much gave me creative control to pretty much run my own Cigar of the Month club, which has been.
Oh, dude, that is awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been huge, man. It's been really cool.
I've never signed up for any club, but man, I'll probably end up doing it with you, brother.
Yeah, and even like Vic was saying, if you want to try it out for a couple of months, you're not obligated to have a contract or anything. You can cancel out whenever you feel like it. But
yeah,
I think in these next couple of months, you don't really realize what we're pushing and bringing to the table.
Okay,
that's exactly why.
In case if I get a cigar that's cracked, I can call you Blake. What the fuck, bro?
Hey,
what is this?
Hey,
we know who's responsible.
One thing I will say is the customer service is gonna always be on point.
I know, bro. I'm messing with you, man. I love you, bro. I love you, man.
Now, if you got a cracked cigar, you let me know.
I won't even worry about it.
Hey,
so can I do?
I'll throw it on the pipe and just smoke it like that.
Oh my
God. What were you saying?
Can I do PayPal?
James, let him know if he can do PayPal.
Because I was going to sign up for it now, but I can do it when I get in the house or whatever. But if I can do PayPal, that's cool. I've been gee whiz, I've sold in the last 2 weeks. I think I've sold 6 or 7 smoke chests, And you know,
I got to get one of those from you too. That's what I got to get one of those.
oh, dude, man, I have a few more to get through, and I want to get started on the I'm gonna do another one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's I've had guys that you know, my website has been down now for a couple months or something, and guys are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I want a smoke chest, can I still get one? I say, yeah, just, you know, do it this way. And I've had a run on them, man. That I've been selling them.
I'll reach out to you too. I want to get one as well.
I just sent Caesar and Rob. I just sent Jeffries out to him. He gave me the wrong address. Oh, this was hilarious. I sent one out to him. He gave me the address. I shipped it out, and then today he said, Vic, did you ship that out already? I gave you the wrong address. He gave me the address for the house across the street from his house.
Wow.
I was like, it's already out, man. So he's going to go bug his neighbor about it.
That's funny. That's funny.
But I like I said, I'm a huge fan of you guys, and definitely make sure that Vic, hey man, this show better not go nowhere.
Oh, dude, it'll stay going. I'm gonna, once I get this certificate out of the way, I can start amping up my videos a little bit more and stuff, and kind of get back on the tracks with that. But yeah, I'll keep it going. I mean, shoot, you guys and the people in the chat and stuff, you're all I've got to smoke with. Nope, there's nobody up here that smokes cigars. I'm 3 hours from Phoenix, man, where you know, I don't have any regulars that I hang out with down there. I just meet people at Fox Cigar or whatever.
Well, don't feel bad. Most of the time nowadays, I used to go to a spot and hang out, but when COVID hit, I just shut everything down. I smoke by myself all the time now too.
Yeah.
I smoke is with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I smoke with my one good friend at our station most of the time, and I by myself at the event. So it sounds weird, but I prefer it that way. I don't have to really talk to somebody when I don't feel like it. And, you know.
Yeah, you know, sit there and enjoy it.
What's crazy is that I smoked cigars for many years by myself. I would have to like at parties, I would smoke by myself. I'll be sitting in a corner somewhere so nobody would like smell it. My brother-in-law's friends, everybody would come by, hang out, and I'll be the only one smoking cigars. And I'm like, y'all want one? Y'all?
You better than me, Caesar. I'm the asshole walking through the middle of the room blowing smoke everywhere. And waiting on somebody to say, hey, man, can you put that out? I don't like how that smells.
Yeah, no, I'm the same type of way. I'm the same.
You can go over there.
In a carnival smoking a cigar and watching people's faces. And if they don't like it, I actually stop and stand there and see if they move or they tell me something. You know, like, go ahead and try to tell me something.
Isn't that great? Like, I'll sit there and watch people tolerate people smoking cigarettes, but then I break out a cigar and it's like, oh, wait a minute, what are you smoking? Yeah. Like, you can't tell me that this cigarette smells better than this cigar.
Oh, there is no way in hell. Like, I don't. Yeah. I hate the smell of cigarettes.
But honestly, there's a lot of people that like the smell, man, because I've had more encounters with people that tell me they like the smell or the smoke than people actually give me an ugly face. I've never had anybody tell me they don't like it, but I've even had one that I can tell she liked it. It was a female, and I went with my wife to go visit San Antonio. And we were at a place in a plaza. It's called Market Square, I believe that's what it's called. And we're there, and I pulled out a Julius Caesar. And I was smoking Julius Caesar, and we sat down on one of the benches. And this female, she comes around and sits kind of towards where the smoke is blowing. And she sat there. And I'm like, why is she sitting there? You know, and she just chilling, you know, like not bothering me, not saying anything. And she'll look over to where I'm at and look away and just... And the smoke is going, man, it's going that way, right? So here comes her two friends.
Don't let your wife find out. That's the new way of hitting.
No, my wife was there. My wife was right there. She noticed it too. And so she's there. She's kind of away from us, but the smoke is good. It's thick enough to still hit her. Right. Her two friends show up, and they're like, I can tell they're like, let's go. What are you doing? And she's like, wait, I'm chilling. They're like, why? Like this, I can see it in their mouth. And they're saying, this, you know, talking about the smoke. Why do you like sitting here? She's like, let me just sit here for a while. Like, I love the smell. And they're
Really?
like, all right. So they left her, and she stayed there until I was done with my cigar. She didn't say anything or nothing. As soon as I was done, she got up and left. And I'm like, what the hell? But I don't think. Well, I was thinking either she really likes the smell, or the smell reminds her of somebody special.
Yeah.
Right.
Or she just like you.
Nah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I said, she might have been digging on Caesar, but just know she couldn't have moved in that much closer.
Shit like that Tex-Mex chorizo.
Look at this, man. This is crazy.
Oh my God, Lee Mac, come on.
Lee Mac, man. God, thank you, brother.
I'm telling you, Lee Mac. I'm so bummed that Cigar Fest got shut down, man. I was looking so forward to hanging out with you again, and now we got to wait until next year. But I had a feeling it would happen, but I was just hoping it wouldn't.
Shoot, I was bummed. Freaking Barn Smoke got canceled, man.
Yeah, everything.
I wasn't prepared to make a lot of trips at all this year. I'm gonna definitely do a better job. I'm gonna try to get to Cigar Fest next year, but I only have one trip planned towards the end of the year. I'm gonna get up to Pennsylvania in the first week of December. Go visit James and Nick at Black Line, run me a couple other errands, and
where are they at?
They're out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're right in the thick of it.
So
very cool.
Yeah.
Now, Roland, that lady, she wasn't too close to where it was too. It felt weird. I mean, she was kind of a good ways away, but I could tell that's what you can just tell.
Caesar's like, why are you sitting on my lap?
Yeah. I'm with Rob. I think it was the Latino heat, man.
Viva la raza.
that and the hairdo.
And that too,
no, actually, at that time I was bald. At that time, I was shaving my head.
Oh, Mr. Clean.
Yeah, I had my full beard.
Mr. Miyagi.
And she was a black woman too, so
nice.
maybe I don't know.
Lee Mac's going to go up with his wife for that weekend still. That's cool. That's very cool.
I think I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna go hop in the shower before it gets too late. But Rob, Caesar, Vic, thank you guys again for the invite, man. I had a ball. Wish I was off work. I'd be up here with you guys all night. So,
Ron, I'm sorry I couldn't be here the whole time, brother. Maybe next time, hopefully you come back.
Yeah, man. Anytime y'all want me on, I'm here, man. If I'm off, I'm always here for a chat and a smoke.
Ron, you're awesome, man.
So
thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Not a problem. Thank you guys again for having me on. Seriously, man. And keep
everyone in the chat, you guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting us tonight. It was very cool. And Caesar, you're a bum, man, for coming late, but we still love you.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Fired.
No, dude, family comes first, man.
Absolutely.
Family comes first.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to stop by, man, say hi to everybody on the chat room, and Ron, man. You've supported us since you came on, and actually, I was following you on your Instagram for a long time, and you never said you had a channel until finally, I think it was Kevin that was like, I saw you in one of the comments or something.
Kevin didn't know I had a channel for. I had a channel for 6 months before he knew it.
I think I was the first one.
The same time Kevin found out, I found out, and I was like, "What? Ron has a channel? What the hell?"
Yeah, Lee Mac and Vic were the first people that knew I had a channel.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, as soon as I found it, I was like,
over 1,000 when I found out. I was like, what?
Not bad for four regular guys that do cigar reviews, huh?
Yeah, for real. Oh man, but I just came here at least for a couple minutes to tell you, man. Thanks for always supporting us too, man. And we'll we got your back all the way at 100%, brother.
Of course, it goes double for me, man. I told you guys, as far as both of y'all's channels individually are here. Anything that I'm able to do, or anything me and James can do for you guys, just let us know, and we'll take care of you guys.
Awesome, brother.
Awesome.
All right, y'all be good.
You too, man.
Good night, bro.
Y'all be good in the chat, man. Love y'all.
Awesome. That was great. That was a great show, man. I mean, we just keep every show. I'm like, this was a great show. I love that guy. I love that guy. He's so
absolutely
he's so cool.
We gotta bring on Lee Mac, man, one of these days.
Oh, we're getting Lee Mac on for sure. The only reason that you guys know I've been reaching out to you and saying, hey, we don't have a guest and stuff. I've been totally letting the ball drop because I've been so focused on my studying right now and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get Lee Mac on for sure, and Brian from Pravada, he asked to come on again.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And so did John. John wants to come on again.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I'll be
yeah,
And then Lars, right?
No.
Birds, we go.
We're not doing that again. We're not doing that again, man.
We're not doing that again.
Caesar can bust out the bong.
Well, guys, you guys have a great night.
You too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I gotta wake up early.
Thanks for coming on, and always check us out. Check Vic out at High Desert Man, and check us out at the Smoking
Lead.
And Ron,
channel.
check Ron out. Ron Real.
And check out RonRealTV.
All right, guys, have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys this week. I'll give you a holler.
Okay, guys. Good night, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
God bless everyone.